Sorry, I figured I wish both teams good luck. So
Alright, we are live, good sir.
it's great. Is our boy Nexus coming for the TriCast, or is it just me and you?
I think he said he would be here near the beginning, so he might be running a few minutes late, but until then, the world has to put up with me and you.
That's perfectly fine. Whenever you get the game, invite me. So
You should have an invite.
been a while since I could cast some games with TLT. It's been a while since you said you loved me. Man, TLT is such a hater, alligator. I'm just kidding. I'll be right back. I gotta go water.
Hello, hello.
We got the other goat with us. What is up, my friend?
Not too much. Labor Day weekend. Feeling good. Got tomorrow off, so plenty of time to watch this banger of a series
Mm-hmm.
today. How you two doing?
Herwick went to go get some water, and I'm good. And I just got reminded recently that tomorrow is Labor Day, so holiday pay for this guy.
Hey, hey, hey. Nice.
Because I work in
Sweet.
an industry that doesn't give a shit about holidays.
Yes. But next is to answer your question. I'm good, man. Happy to be back with you guys here. It's gonna be a fun finals, I'm sure. How you been, man? We haven't talked in a while.
I've been chilling. A lot of stuff going on, but I want to get through it all. This was a nice little kind of vice every week. Me and CLT chopping it up on the Midwest Weekly.
Yeah, I was
It's
watching episodes here, and you guys were doing great together. I was really enjoying your guys' synergy. Almost as good as me and CLT, but
Nah, nah.
it's just impossible.
Nexus is the goat.
CLT, you're not even supposed to say that. You're supposed to
Yeah, you're
agree with
supposed to
me.
double down.
Nah,
You're
nah.
supposed to
I'm
be
not
like,
double. I'm not doing Nexus like that. No, 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 no.
Oh my god.
yeah,
It's
you
on
are
my
supposed to.
side now. We spent 6 weeks together talking, and there it is.
I'm
Sorry,
on.
Herwick.
I'm
That's
on
just being.
everybody's sides here.
Okay, okay.
You spend you
Ah,
spend a, you spend a year with somebody, and they just leave you the moment they get just something a little quote unquote better. It's crazy.
can't believe you switching up on your day ones like that, TLT.
Yeah, that's what messed up, man.
Breaking the news.
You excited for Sweat there, Nexus? 'Cause you guys are playing,
Uh,
right?
yeah, we're playing. I don't know about excited. It's we got had quite the poor showing last time, so hopefully turning it around. We're and we're running a new jungler, so that may things, but uh, it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
I believe in the best 1 and 4 team in this split for sure. This time you
Me
guys
too.
are gonna go 2 and 5.
At least two wins, right? Surely.
I'm excited to
One of them an actual win too. That would be
watch
nice.
your two squads duke it out.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Froggy style, and then forgot what's your team again? Herwick. Is it?
I don't currently have a team actually. It's
Oh,
What?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, there might be the new team officially signing up, but I'm no longer with the old team for at least this split.
hmm, gotcha.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong. I originally was gonna take some time off, and then they found a replacement. But then after they found a replacement, I was like, well, I'm not gonna take that guy's spot, but I still wanted to play, so I was like, screw it. I'll see who's around, and so we
oh,
may or may not have a team coming in.
oh my lord! You can actually join a full lobby and it puts you in spectator. Bless
Wow.
the riot gods for doing something right here.
Were
That's
they able to switch around order? They were. Okay. I was having that problem just like 2 days ago. I couldn't switch my order in custom lobbies.
I couldn't either. The one stream we played, I think Wednesday. Yeah,
Hmm.
Wednesday we scrimmed and we just couldn't get the order figured out. I was like, screw it, whatever. So
it's crazy.
All right, gentlemen. Let me repost the draft again. And I think we are good to go.
Nice.
Sweet.
10 viewers. I already ran the 3-minute ad, so we should be good about the time draft starts. Like, look at this.
Yeah, I'm coming back. I have to learn how to run ads and stuff. Oh,
Yeah.
got to teach me some stuff for Sweat League.
Start the stream about 3 minutes earlier than you would, and it automatically runs an ad, and then either before draft or during the spectator delay, run a 3-minute ad, and you should be good for the games.
Gotcha.
Is what I've kind of found out. If the game goes like plus or 45, 50 minutes, then just good luck. It might run another ad.
That's their own fault at that point, right? Taking too darn long.
Well, this is Rec League. We have plenty of 40 and 50-minute bangers.
True.
Ooh, yeah. Had a 60-minute game last week. That was
Oh, what in the world?
really fun. I was casting that one solo, and I was game one, by the way. No, please.
That might be like a record, honestly. I don't know.
It was definitely the longest of the season. It wouldn't surprise me if it's
I don't remember
longest ever.
single Sweat game that I have been a part of going past 53 minutes. And that was like either last Sweat or the Sweat before. So
that...
maybe way back in the original Rec League, it's possible, but I don't know. 60 minutes sounds like a record.
There was Team, and what was it? It was either Scorch or Sat Jellyfish in like a semifinal. Had like back-to-back 45, 50-minute bangers.
Yeah, I think that was like last Sweat or the Sweat before that there was a series.
That was like 3 splits ago now, bro.
Was it that? Oof, that's crazy. It's all starting to meld together.
Uh-huh. But we are in draft, my friends.
We are.
That might have been the split I casted like 1,000 games. Yeah, too, and that's why I don't know.
Interesting. 3 top bands coming out from, or I guess 2 top bands, 1 jungle band from Capuchungus.
It's a flex band, you know.
Scrub Lord, I believe, has played the Wukong.
Yeah, I don't know. Are they not confident? Golden Sunset. I don't know how much you've been following the Rec League happenings, but this Capuchungus squad kind of switching in the playoffs here. They kicked out Timo's Coochie, their original laner, promoted their 6-man to the 80 carry, and then switched out Golden Sunset, who was, I believe, our second team All-Star 80 carry, and they put him in the top lane. So
That is
some
correct.
crazy stuff there.
I didn't see that. Was there a reason for him getting kicked out of top lane? Like, what happened there? Did he have something going on, or did they just?
I think he had something going on, even though they played it off like he got kicked.
Oh, they're
He's-
probably just for the memes.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is Campbell. I mean, he
Yes.
likes to meme a lot, so.
He does. He found the one day Minus wasn't feeling it, so. But Ash Vi here, pretty big, long range engage, coming from both
And
sides.
Talia as well. We had Campbell on the show this past week, and I believe we touched on that exact combo. It's a comfort pick for Pho, the Pantheon in the jungle, and then Pilk on the Talia pairs up very nicely with it. Point and click, easy to execute combo, and then those double globals, we've seen him use them quite well, and a Scion to round things out too. Loving both sides drafts so far.
Yeah, I think it looks good from both teams. Pantheon has lost some favor as well as Vi. I mean, they've both been nerfed as of recently, but they're still pretty good in the jungle. With the Wukong ban, though, it makes sense that you're going to still see them kind of pop up because Wukong's kind of finding priority there.
Mm-hmm. See what comes through second phase here. Kind of rare we see bot lane dropped this late into like round 2 of draft, but Capuchunga securing a pretty safe top side for themselves, setting up for a very standard front to back. So expecting Joker to be on some sort of hyper carry marksman, and then maybe Campbell on Enchanter to back that up, since you already have pretty good engage between the Scion, Pantheon, and Talia.
It's really intriguing that they would draft the like top lane pick, or even a mid lane pick, but both of them in the first rotation on red side. That is very unique. I mean, I feel like even if you're playing for like counter pick for support, you still hold your top laner till 4. But I mean, hey, maybe it'll work out. Very interesting draft. I haven't seen that. I think almost ever.
Yeah, and they're doing 2 support bans as well, so it's a tiny little nitpick, but I think a really valid one because I don't think Scion was going to get banned on the side of Capuchungus with Golden not really having that many top games. And then that would have maybe opened up the way for something a little more creative in the top lane or just a more secure matchup in the support role. You can just take support on 3 and then ban out 2 supports you really don't want to play against. Ezreal, though, looking like the pick here. Pretty safe. Decent
Kind
into
of,
Ashe.
isn't it making you wonder where like this Pantheon wants to play? I guess it's a mid game. Like you want to play towards mid, but I mean I feel like Talia just wants to play on sides. It's such an interesting draft here out of Capuchungus because Cyan is pretty good weak sided, and so is Ezreal. Like Ezreal is actually a really good weak sided ADC. Kind of curious where the draft is going. Like what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
It's really hard because Kappa's drafted like both of their backline carries, and they're still relatively low damage as well. So Shen being a big pickup.
Agreed, and that's going to help the dive of the Vi Ari as well.
I'm,
I
I'm,
am kind of curious with the two support bands of Rel Alistar. Like that tells me you want to play Enchanter, and not wanting to necessarily play into engage in that lane. But with the Ezreal pick, maybe they go for something that plays the map more, something like a Bard.
I was
don't know if
I
that's
was
too
thinking
spicy for
Bard,
game
yeah.
one.
I like Bard, and I'm calling crazy, but I kind of like Poppy here too. Honestly, it's not like gonna give you more damage, but it does make their engage tools on Baba Twisted harder to pull off.
Yeah, and that's a Campbell special, as me and CLT have seen plenty of past few weeks. So that may be a good answer as well. A little more aggressive.
Yeah,
And
I
you're
feel like
taking Braum.
Capuchungus comp wants to just pick somebody off. Okay,
This is nice too.
I mean I'm glad you like it, CLT, but I'm gonna be 100%. I don't like it at all. I don't
Really?
think I like this draft any bit. I love Baba Twisted getting his drafts 100%. Synergizes well. They all really want to just go in and play pick heavy, with their comp. And it kind of felt like that's what Capuchungus was leaning towards, but now it's just I don't know. Are they playing poke comp? Is it a poke comp with a Cyan in front? Like, that's all I can come up with.
I think
And just disengage with Renata, which would be fine if that's what their angle is.
I think for me it's about like what bop it's throwing at Capuchungus. I think the Renata is the reason why I like it. I don't think Capuchungus really needs to like overstretch to play the game their way because Boppet's comp only has one direction it goes, and that's forward. So the pressure is on Boppet to make stuff happen, and this is where I like the Renata and the Talia uh, as far as being very good responsive, very good champions that can create their own space and draw the line in the sand.
Yeah. I cannot see this Ezreal ever getting to play the game. This is like the hardest Ezreal game I've ever seen in my life. Talia, I agree. She has the opportunity to kind of like do work this game, especially because of the way that Unravel Earth works. And you've got 3 dashes in this game. But we'll see how it pans out. There is no hyper carry on Baba Twisted, so that might help them out a bit. But yeah, overall, 2 very low damage comps. We might be seeing long drawn out.
Nexus, you ready for another 60-minute?
With the 3 of us, I think I'll be able to get through it. So,
Well, don't worry, Nexus. You know how I go. I go super hard. So you can sit back and relax and chill out, man. No worries.
I will be. Plan to have you on play-by-play?
Yeah, I mean, we could do it kind of together a bit. You've seen me cast a bunch, so you know how I get hyper.
He likes the
help it
moments.
sometimes. I love moments.
Mm-hmm.
So we can kind of switch in and out. We'll fill each other out with that. never. I've only done a TriCast once, so
I'm
definitely a different experience.
I'll take a little more of the reserve role. I'll let you two have some fun
Who
with this.
questions my ability?
Reserve row CLT, you're the best color commentator in the game, baby.
Nah. I'm surrounded by
He
two
only-
goats. This is gonna go great, no matter what we do.
Dude, I just want me and Nexus to be shouting over each other.
What if we both play-by-play at the same? What if we all three play-by-play at the same time?
It's like absolutely like the most ridiculous casting of all time.
It makes me think of the video from like this is 6 or 7 years ago where it was a TriCast Korean at LCK and they were just shouting ability names and then just all three were just going insane.
I love the Korean cast, man. Like they got the play-by-play, they got the color guy, and then I'm pretty sure they just have a third guy who's just there to scream. But
Yeah.
he's just
I
doing their
like
news.
I like how they do like with Kobe, Flowers, and who's the third person they sometimes would have on together when they do their TriCast?
Probably a Zale.
Yeah. So Azale was always doing a lot of color stuff, a little bit with Kobe, and then obviously Flowers was every time play-by-playing, but it was like Flowers play-by-playing with Kobe just being like, oh, and then you just like that. That's so fucking good. Like, it gets me hyped every time.
There's always another
And Azale's so knowledgeable about the game that his color is great. I'm just listening to that guy
Yeah.
talk for forever, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, it's fun.
weak.
Nah, those moments. The color in the background screaming is what really gets it going.
Absolutely.
Double lift, he's killing them all.
Yeah, exactly. That's the perfect like how you follow up, and I think when you build that synergy as casters, that's an example of that because like Kobe would never really like take over Flowers' moments, but he would add to it perfectly to just make the moment bigger than it even is. Because sometimes the moment's not even that big, but it becomes big because of those guys. I loved it. They're great.
Oh yeah, dude. Kobe Flowers are basically the Hairwick CLT of LCS. Like it's, I think that's about the apt comp.
That's crazy. I mean, I think you got some Flowers in you, man.
I'll take the Azale out of that trio. That works for me. I
I
do
think
want to circle back to
you're-
draft a little bit.
Yeah, come back. Yeah.
Nexus is going to be winding us back.
I don't know how long we should go on for, right?
We have 3 minutes and 30 seconds. We had a lot of time.
That's true. Never mind. I'll get to my point later.
All right, just real quick, all I'll say, and then we can talk draft, like you said. I was gonna say, I think with you, I've got that perfect, like, precise enunciations on your calls. It just sounds so crisp every time. Like you don't ever, to me, slip up too much, which is great. Whereas I'll get so hyped sometimes, I start like not going off the rails, but it's definitely not perfect. It's not as crisp because I'm getting so excited. So that's why I think you'd be a better Flowers because Flowers is just like really spitballing like a rap god out here.
No, that's crazy. He just does like both. Like he has that insane energy, and then he just doesn't miss. I don't know how he does it. Like it's crazy. Have you seen the clips of him like standing up too?
Yes.
Like he's just there. You watch him cast, you can tell how much he loves it. He's zoom in, face is 2 inches from the screen.
Done some of those standing
Absolutely
up moments. 100%. I've jumped out of my chair mid-call a couple times and almost fainted one of them. So it gets intense. With that said, yeah, let's talk this draft though. So what are you thinking? What's in your brain over there, Nexus?
I just wanted to bring up, because we did kind of go a little around, but we were talking to Ezreal Renata. I am not really a fan of that as much as I think some other options that could have presented themselves. I was touching in round one about how that Pantalea Scion is a great top side to get you started up with. Good damage spread, good early game, mid game, late game, and great zone control, globals all across the map. I think that is kind of screaming, pick Joker, something that can hyper carry, something that can 1v9 because you have such great teamfight tools. Ezreal, while safe, I do not think is that pick. I don't know if the plan is to just try to kite out the bop it, twist it, gank it dive with Ezreal Renata and then hope you win those longer team fights. But I just don't like that attitude in a game one draft. I think you want to have the agency on your end rather than trying to hide out fights and play the longer fight, because you're giving the onus over to Bop It here, who now have all these go buttons and all these single target CC abilities that I think favor them in at least mid game team fights.
Renata has opportunities to do a similar thing to like when I was talking about the Poppy with her ult and her handshake, but it's not as easy to pull off, I think, as a Poppy W. The other thing is, I feel like if you're gonna go Renata, why not just go something like Yanara or Sivir here? Honestly, I mean they're the best AD carries in the game right now. Uh, both of them should be just fine with the front line you provided and the survivability from the Renata. What's it called? Help me out here, guys. Not the
Offside takeover.
Yeah, that ability. It's like if you get mid game 3 item Sivir or Yanara, even if they're about to die after they engage, there's a good chance you can just turn it back because there's so much damage being pumped out of those 80 carries at that point. So and then come back to life, of course, and run over the fight. So I don't know. That's my only take. I agree with you, Nexus. CLT though is the opposite, which is kind of good. We got someone disagree.
I mean,
Good job, CLT.
I do disagree, but I will agree that I feel like Kappa's comp is much harder to execute. Um, but I think the amount of stuff getting thrown at them, the engages and everything, makes it a lot more responsive for Renata and them to play the game. But
Are you
I
guys
do
in game?
I am in game.
I'm about to be at 9-10 seconds now.
And
11, 12.
12.
Perfect.
Look
Oh
at
my
this.
goodness, you loaded it up. All right, cool.
Love to see it. My eyes are going to be on both junglers this game. I think that's going to be the big determinant, at least in the early game. Bot lane should be slightly Thresh Ashe favored. If Thresh ever gets a hook, things are going to look good there. And then just Ashe early game should give him prio in the bot lane. Should be a pretty stable kind of tank duel out. Handshake. And then I think the mid jungle is where things are really going to explode for both of these teams.
Yeah, I think it favors Pantheon to Leah early, 100%. And level 6s come in, and Vi Ari should be in a sharp spot.
It's very rare we get two prominent mid jungle duos going against each other.
Yeah, because I feel like both can just fight back, which is going to be
Yeah.
pretty fun to see.
I think whoever's
And then
sorry, go ahead.
I'm really interested in like the global aspect of the Talia and the Panthal. We saw them use that really well, Kapachungus this week's series, and so that could be kind of how they create an advantage. And another why the Shen pick is also really good to help counter that. But we can go back to your thought with the mid jungles.
Yeah, I just think with the mid jungle, whoever's the most proactive and makes the first move, to me, gets the biggest advantage there. But yeah, you brought up a good point about them running this Talia Pantheon combo for the globals quite well. I do like the Shen and kind of response to that a little bit.
Do you have thoughts on the Krug start out of Pantheon?
I
Is that
wasn't paying
Krug start or
attention.
is my mini map bugged? Maybe that's what it is.
Nope. No, that's a Krug start.
What?
Resident
why did he do
Jungler, got
that?
anything with that?
No, that's why I'm confused. Why did you do that?
I was asking. I was very confused. I had never seen that before.
Krug spawn, after both Red and Raptors. So
Yeah. Gonna delay is clear. You see Duffy. He's already making his way to camp number 3 here. Was it a
Yeah.
Raptor start, maybe?
I think it
Was it?
was Raptor
Was it?
Krugs in the red buff.
it might have been.
Okay.
I wasn't even fully paying attention. So
But he lost
was
one
Raptor.
of those because he's only at 11 CS. Not 12.
Okay, maybe that's what it was. Because my mini map, I think, was bugged. So it was probably Raptor start.
I wasn't even
Dropped
looking
one
at-
somewhere.
I was just looking up at him and saw the red buff was up. You guys got me all distracted on what even was happening.
Whoops.
Great start, guys.
3 minutes in, I'm already botching the chemistry of the tripod. Oh no.
Level 2 from bot, or level 3, sorry. Bot lane,
Still, if you
nice.
can't count, 2 and 3 are different numbers. We're all. just
We
on the same
were-
side. Everybody.
Oh, shut up!
Real quick breathing technique here. All right, we're in it now. We're good.
Duffy in the mid lane. Just stopping by.
Yeah, looks like he doesn't want to fight over the the scuttle there. Pantheon is stronger early. We kind of discussed, so makes sense.
Yeah, I think good call. You know, try to hold off to level 6 and then pull off your little combo there. Bot lane going pretty well for Joker Campbell.
Foe could look for a flash W here on the R if you wanted to. I mean, she's sitting at under half HP, but it looks like he's just gonna reset.
Oh, hey, maybe he heard you. In here.
Oh, there it is. There it is. They're gonna fully engage. Will Crystal Music go down? It's not gonna have enough damage. Unfortunate.
Trade of flashes. Yeah, this bottom lane is going really well for Joker and Campbell. I'm pleasantly surprised because I do think the Ashe Thresh have a not an easy time in that lane, but I'd like to think that that is a strong lane for them. You know, Ashe should beat Ezreal early, and then if Thresh can get in range for a hook, that's gonna turn the tide to the bottom lane. But Joker and Campbell just spacing it out well, continuing to push in these waves, and they've built themselves up a nice little 10 CS lead there.
Yeah, I think the only thing bad about the Ashe is she got nerfed a while back, so she's not as strong as she used to be in the early game. But I'm still surprised the lane kind of went like this.
It dawned on me that this is a D-Blade start from the Shen, by the way.
It is. I mean, I feel like that's fine. You're going to be trading a little more with your autos into the Scion. I'm not really well versed enough in that top lane matchup to speak any more on it, but I get the theory crafting behind it. First Drake, though, looking secured for Capuchungus this side.
Yeah, really nice setup here. Unfortunately, low HP there on blue side. Didn't allow them to really contest.
Yeah, I mean, you have the wave shoves, and then this Talia Pantheon early game got off to maybe not the first punch, but a first little tap, little jab action, forcing that flash out of Ahri, helping make way for Pha to just walk on in, take that Drake. You can see all the vision too around that dragon pit, all scoped out, so they had no issues taking that.
Yeah, it's really, really just well done here by Capuchungus. You know, playing at a pretty high level early on here for being a rec league team. All that practice against sweat teams last split, you know. I think that's why they're here hitting the finals. That's really what happened.
Same with Boppet too. I mean, these are our two sweat league teams able to run through the rec league gauntlet. Last two standing. Good invade by Duffy. He picks up 6 off those Krugs, and now he's in the top lane area, and Pha, no Krugs to be seen. We'll see if something breaks out here.
Here, but he does not have 6. Smart to pull off there. You're not killing that Scion right there.
Now it'll be a matter of if that Ahri Vi can kind of get some action going with that level 6 power spike. Any thoughts on the very early Darkseal out of Christmas music?
I don't mind it.
He escaped the first gank, so if he's able to continue to survive, I can see it paying dividends as Ahri and I are now becoming strong together, right? So, to note, also, Joker did use his cleanse here in the bot lane. Really nice. That's on a Thordle.
That's a crucial cooldown too.
Vamps up there out of one trick. Looks like we're seeing Blade here first on this Ashe.
Yeah. Once
Ashe really low. This could be a solo kill.
Oh, look in the bot lane.
On engage, dropping Ignite
Flash.
onto Campbell. Campbell's gonna drop the ulti. Joker though trying to full commit, but he's not had the damage. Ashe is putting it into the queue here. A few more autos will do it. Does he have it in there?
Oh.
Talk about edging.
That was a really close fight there. I mean, Thordle hitting the hook, and you really think they would have been able to get it. Susan had to flash to the side of, I believe, the Renata ult, or something there to help build space and allow him to hit still. But Duffy in the area and Joker, no sums. Just a matter of getting this wave in.
But we do have the Renata on the way, so this is not going to be a free play. The question is, are they still going to commit with the information that Campbell has returned? Nice death sentence here. But he actually ends up taking a couple turret shots, so. Blue side getting really nothing out of this early game here. Both objectives given over to Capuchungus, and that's pretty big.
Well,
Yeah, I think he just send it there. I feel like he'd have enough damage, but gonna play it cautiously and continuing to invade Fa here, building up quite a nice camp lead, up 20 CS. Maybe they make a play with Christmas music roaming down from mid.
He's still got the level 6 here, though. Campbell.
Turn here onto Campbell. Nice handshake. Here comes the Pantheon ult, though. Maybe just for the fun. It looks like it. Christmas music is going to have to be careful. Should be forced to use the ult here over the wall.
Comes on through.
And that's Spirit Rush down, so there's really not going to be a great setup here to kill Pilk here in the mid lane if they decide to use that cease and desist play.
600 gold difference just from this laning phase here for Capuchungus.
And that is on the edges of the lane. We have like 400 gold lead in the top lane, another 400 in the bottom lane. Duffy's been doing really well. He did this last week as well, just kind of keeping pressure on enemy jungle, not necessarily looking for or over forcing any gank timers, just steadily clearing camps, invading when the opportunity presented itself, and yes, has not been able to get those 2 large early game neutral objectives, but built up a decent solo lead, and Eclipse coming in for the Vi just 10 minutes in here.
And that should mean that I think Capuchungus should have to forfeit this second Drake due to the item difference in the jungle here. So let's see what they decide to do. Once again, really nice hook. Oh, did Thordo overcommit? Forced to burn his flash. That might hurt just a little bit here.
I think we're gonna have a brawl. Scion's making his way down. Shen should be backing up for ult soon.
He's ulting in. Flash here on Christmas music, who also does have his flash back up. Here comes the Shadow Onslaught. It's gonna hit onto 2. Really nice without an ult. He's gonna hit multiple members of the blue side. So far, nobody has died. Despite a flash there from Duffy, able to get Poe, who does end up finally falling, but he's gonna trade his life. And now everybody on blue side is just dying here. Really walking away with their HP as Christmas music and Thordle. Oh, never mind. That's a triple kill for Pill because he just picked up the kill on the back end there.
Wow, crazy fight. Capuchungus just able to pull the trigger with that Scion ulti coming in. I believe he clipped 2, and more importantly, put himself in a phenomenal position to set up a nice little front-to-back style of fight for them. I think Christmas Music ulti was still down, so once that Ahri got stunned, that was 1 carry down. Ashe at this stage of the game, just no damage. And with that hostile takeover from Campbell hitting, I believe 2 or 3, but definitely segregating the fight, that was plenty for Capuchungus to walk away with a very nice team fight in our first little action of the game.
Yeah, it was really well done. And I want to point out, for some reason, I called the Scion ulti Shadow Onslaught. I'm rusty, guys. They both have Onslaught in there, and I tweaked.
I didn't think we would have. I thought you didn't say anything.
Well, I'm calling myself out, you know.
There you go.
Because I thought it was funny. I'm like, this isn't Hecarim.
Yeah. The 2,000 gold lead here for Capuchungus, and full feats of strength after that brawl at bot lane. So.
Yeah, I mean things are looking good for them. On either comp, you want to be ahead. You know, we touched on how this Ezreal pick isn't a great hyper carry option, but with Pilk picking up a triple kill there, Scion items coming in, you may just have enough damage through the top side, or this Ezreal, all he really has to do is try and survive. The team will kind of take over the rest, so getting themselves off to a good start. We kind of see some glimpses of how those team fights played out too.
Yeah,
ideally, at least for Capuchungus.
Yeah, very slow on both sides. I mean, nobody died immediately. It took a couple seconds there, 5, 6, 7 seconds before anyone started to fall. Now, of course, when items start coming in, there will be some more burst, but I do expect that's probably how most of the team fights are going to go.
Duffy gonna be spotted on this bot lane ward. Talia and Pantheon in the area too, so
It
here
does
comes
have
the
Weaver's
ulties.
Wall. Yeah, Weaver's Wall here. It's not going to fully cut them off, but it is going to set him up. Nice Grand Skyfall right there onto one trick. And he will die pretty quickly. Nice hostile takeover. Will land onto multiple. They're trying to turn on to Pilk here. Pilk is going to die, giving shut down the Christmas music. And I don't really know what you're doing there, Shen. It looks like it might be working out. The heal coming out to try to save foe, but it's just not enough. As Thortle with the auto is going to take that kill really quickly.
Sion walked down from top lane.
Oh yeah, we're really
Oh.
we're 5-manning bot lane for nothing on the map, by the way.
For the second time in 14 minutes, by the way.
Yes. I think the net advantage went over to Capuchungus, but it was a very, very close fight. And as I say that, here comes in a nice engage from Golden Sunset, but unfortunately, Shen did have the ult. So I think the Scion is not long for this world.
He's pretty tanky, though.
He is tanky. They should have the taunt coming up soon. No, oh, so he actually is going to be able to walk away. All right.
Shen ult down too. I mean, yeah, just why not? Let's fight. Let's scrap. We got a slow enough early game.
Really nice buffer there by Duffy.
He's just gonna get himself on out. But yeah, we see those powers of the Pantheon ult. Fun, Pill, great synergy there. Able to jump onto the Ashe, burst him, and then just a better collapse out of Boppet to kind of save that play. Shen TPing into that deep ward, followed by a Ahri just walking on down. That's how they would return that. But action in the mid lane.
Here. I think Thortle is going to fall. He will. So picks up the kill. He's just going to walk away with his life. But that should be Herald.
Good pick out of Capuchungus. This is something I feel like is criticism of Thortle. Well, it kind of serves that playmaking role for the side of Boppet, but often at times maybe gets a bit too aggressive or too overeager in looking for those plays. In that case, stepping up very far with not too much vision over that wall there. Looks for the death sentence and finds nothing but 4 members of Capuchungus playing as a unit and punishing the Boppet support.
I'm impressed with Capuchungus who played this game so far. I mean, able to get all these objectives here. And Herald, Grubs, 2 Drakes. I mean, that's just a huge advantage in that department on top of already having the gold lead. But they're setting up these objectives so well. Great timers. And unfortunately, Boppet have been mostly reactionary this game. So I'm curious if they're going to be able to turn this around. I'd love to really see like maybe a setup here between the Vi and the Ahri to try to pick off someone on the side lane here. Like the Talia or maybe the Ezreal.
Yeah, I feel like you haven't gotten maybe as much as you would want out of the Vi Ahri. Dragon spawning, and crucially, this Shen has no TP and no stand united for just a little bit longer. So we'll see if Boppet are trying to hold the fight. But arrow in the mid lane. Ooh, nothing but Pilk's flash. Could have been disastrous.
Which is really, really big before this objective here. So let's see if the Herald can kind of draw them in. Christmas music did use Spirit Rush. So he's also not going to have it.
The Capuchungus are just kind of beasting here. Herald in the mid lane to help get him prio there, and then they're probably going to look to rotate over.
Oh, Pilk's have to be careful here. Do they have to taunt? They're going to take the Season Assist here onto Pilk, but Pilk's got the backup from the team. A flash out there from Duffy. Bo finds himself in a weird spot. Hostile Takeover is only going to end up hitting 1 member, but that means Thordo's just going to come back and die here. Now with the giant Scion, I think they should go ahead and move over to this Drake.
Low health bars on Boppet too. Duffy had to go really deep there to try to punish Pilk, who's able to stay alive with the Renata shield, the Archangel shield coming in, and then I believe it was Scion just standing in front, helping provide a big kind of brick wall, keeping the mid laner alive. And then another Drake going over to Capuchungus. They are snowballing beautifully in this early game.
20-minute mark here. This 2.1k gold lead is pretty massive, considering the state of the game, new Drakes wise. So if they're able to acquire Soul, they should be on the way to winning this first game with not much of a problem.
Yeah, this is gonna balloon too, because all these outer towers are really low, and we've seen how much side lane pressure they've had all game. Mid lane is just a few autos from death. Top lane, once a few more waves crash. It's a lot of standing gold for Capuchungus to take and continue to balloon their lead. And if they get that last Drake, put themselves on Infernal Soul, that may just be wraps for game one.
The real question is, are they going to try to attempt an early Otacon? And if they do, would that be an opportunity for Bobbapist to get back in? Because it seems to be a lot of bait for teams across all regions, and I've seen it in Rec League and Sweat League as well. There's certain times where you don't necessarily need to force the Otacon, but you don't want to just give it to the enemy team either if you're ahead. So we'll see how they kind of play around that and set that up.
Yeah, and I think, you talked about the Ahri Vi combo, wanting to see more out of them, rather than look for your enemy to make a mistake and throw. Not at all that far gone yet. Need to see Duffy and Christmas Music pair up. Ideally onto Talia, who still doesn't have that flash. But lane assignment-wise, they're not really setting themselves up for that. And while Duffy's continuing to farm, it's not going to matter too much as, this whole Capuchungus squad just continuing to push in on towers and get vision. Maybe Duffy has an angle in the top lane here.
He's in the spot on the ward now, so he's going to have to go if he wants to go. Isn't going in time, but that is Weaver's Wall down. The question is, will they be able to contest Otacon now?
Yeah, I mean, Duffy showed himself in the top lane. I don't think, well, they know now, but Vi is very far away. Looks like they're just going to give over yet another objective over to Capuchungus.
It's going to be a nice burst of flowers as well.
I don't know.
Yeah, nearly catches one trick, but he's able to flash away and survive for now.
This game, yeah, it's just not too much is happening other than Capuchungus just slowly winning. They're picking up every little advantage here or there. Even Joker has a bounty on the Ezreal, just 3 CS up. That speaks to how far ahead the whole team is. And unless this Vi and Ahri can really pounce and do something, team fight wise, you're looking really favorable for Capuchungus. I think Duffy's going to try to look in the top side alongside Ahri to make stuff happen there. Maybe Thordle starts to roam around too, because at this stage of the game, this is just what I call mid-wave ping pong. These waves are going back and forth. So as the support, if your AD carry is safe, you should be trying to get on the map and push advantages elsewhere.
At this point, Pilk's flash is coming back up too, so there's not even going to be much of an angle for this combo between Christmas Music and Duffy to really do here in the side lanes. You're not going to kill the Scion, right? Like, he's pretty much unkillable at this point. So their comp is relatively outscaled at this moment, and we might have said a lot of negative about side of Capuchungus' comp, but as this game showed, like, they have performed and pulled it off very excellently, and due to that fact, their comp's going to outscale, I think, overall.
Most of the top on the bot side, and I think most of the winning for Capuchungus has been due to the top side of their map. So, giving ourselves maybe a little bit more credit than we deserve there, but maybe something happens in the mid lane here.
Nice handshake. There is a Lantern. He's not going to take it. Hostile takeover is going to go in. Here comes the Shen ulti, but he's just going to die just as Scrub arrives. Scrub now forced to flash away. Christmas Music trying to turn on to Pilk, but he's not able to find the charm. Though it wouldn't matter too much, he did still have flash and his Archangel shield. And that's going to be all that is for this play. And with the Drake spawning in 15 seconds, guys, I think that's Soul.
I mean, jungle down. Great execution from Capuchungus. They're the ones pulling the trigger here. Have the pocket of vision around the mid lane. You can kind of see it right now. Duffy didn't know Pho was in the area, who just walks up, point and click stun. Golden Sunset in the area for that unstoppable onslaught follow-up to help match when Shen gets there. And, the Stand United shield is not enough when Joker and Pho are just free hitting. And so Soul over. Now a 5k gold lead. But more importantly, the Soul kind of balloons that up, unofficially to 8k. And that's going to help shore up any shortcomings of the damage department, that Infernal Soul. Now they're just going to be able to march together as a unit, really take whatever they want.
Baron spawning in about 40 seconds or so. I expect them to just turn on the Baron on the time it arrives, knock it out real quick, and be an end angle. Meanwhile, though, we do see a TP here from the Shen. That might be a bad spot for him. He's going to get handshaked here. Nice hook here onto Campbell. But I think it's just fine. Cease and desist is going to come in out of Pilk, but they're not going to do too much. Campbell might end up going down. Duffy flashing away. Here's the flash. Campbell's going to be brought back to life. Campbell surviving on the backside. Meanwhile, Shed did die. And Christmas Music is just running for his life. Luckily, there's nothing to really get onto him. But another attempt. Another advantage for Capuchungus.
Not seeing this Vi Ari do what you want to see out of Vi Aris. I think Duffy's been doing an okay job of diving into the backline and getting on priority targets, but just no follow-up. Christmas Music not in a spot to help follow up on the dive that Duffy had. Able to keep himself alive, and I mean, even Campbell, the squishiest member of Capuchungus, on that Renata, able to walk out with the bailout. And with those 2 picks, it's going to be another objective. I mean, Boppet haven't gotten an objective all game, and the way this is trending, maybe a tower at best, but domination from all of Capuchungus.
Realistically, it's close to as perfect as you can make this game be. I mean, 3 deaths only. God dang it, Pho, what are you doing? Dying 2 times. No, but seriously, I mean, it's pretty insane gameplay here out of Capuchungus here in Game 1. I think right now it's important for Boppa Twisted to focus on how to recover here in Game 2. I know sometimes it's like, well, maybe we can win, but it might just be best to maybe send a fight and just look to game 2. Don't expend too much mental energy on what is more than likely a lost game.
I think we talked about this with Campbell, actually, how it's, you never want to say it's lost, but at certain times it is better to just keep your mental strong, because you will have Game 2, you will have side selection, and with Fearless, every game's different, so you always have a chance to kind of come back, new strategy, new game plan. Arguably, if a few of those large early game fights go differently, things look good for Boppet, but just not really able to have much agency this game. I think I want to see him maybe draft. I don't really know where you go, because these are pretty strong lanes, but really try to focus on fighting with the stronger lanes for Game 2 would be my thought. Capuchungus, though, are going to continue to just walk these minions in. It looks like they're going to play on either 2 or 3 separate lanes here. Yeah, they're going to send 4-man squad up with the Scion, so no one can really get through that. And then Pilk is just going to play incredibly respectfully. As much as I've harped on this Vi Ari for maybe not being too... having too much agency, it's been equally as well played from Capuchungus, kind of maybe preventing anything from going over, not giving any openings.
Yeah, no, 100%. Capuchungus has played this game excellently, but that is a nice death sentence. They're going to go in. Nice arrow here. He should end up dying. Hostile takeover does come out in time, but supports were traded. In the end, though, Shen also is going to die. Mind you, this is a 4v5. Here comes the Panther. Beautiful cancel there on a Duffy. And wait a second. That's a shutdown for Christmas Music. The Capuchungus pull off a little more than they can chew here. They might have. And though it doesn't get the gold lead back too much, still a shutdown and still some gold into this Ari's pocket. Yes, it's
taking that 2 for 2. That's exactly what you want at this stage of the game. Pilk, don't know what the call was there. Obviously great hook, maybe catching Capuchungus off guard. Talia staying in the bot lane that entire time, so that was a 4 versus 5, and you're missing what is your primary damage for Capuchungus. That Talia, with those 5 kills, 3 items now has been doing work. And so, off of those good picks, that's kind of the angle Bop it has. You know, catching off Campbell there. Hit quite a nice hostile takeover again. But still, damage enough coming through to go at least 2 for 2. And then, like you said, the shutdown over to Christmas music is going to be promising. It's like building his way towards a death cap. I think CLT gets you back on the mic here, if you're still. What are the thoughts on the Crypt Bloom Ari? Because I feel like I don't see that too much.
I'm not a
It's early.
fan. I don't like you're spending gold on percentage pin that there was up until about 5 minutes ago because I've been kind of looking at it. There was no MR being built at all, so not a great big fan there. So your goal is to blow up somebody. So even though you're behind, I still think something like a Shadow Flame is very useful.
On the mid lane, Elder spawning soon.
Yep, and here comes the Scion here. Golden Sunset's not going to find anybody there with the Unstoppable Onslaught. This is trying to find the edge, but that's a flash in as one trick got picked back there by the Talia. Nice hostile takeover, and everybody on the blue team is just dying. The soul just seems to be too much, and that should be the game.
Great wipe out of Capuchungus there. Pulling the trigger instantly onto One Trick Susan after Pilk manages to get that shove. Flashing on in, rest of the team there to follow up. And now, with no one but Christmas music alive, you gotta think Capuchungus are gonna be able to march this one in. Stun
Really
gets
nice
canceled.
Charm. Yeah, that was a really nice charm there, but unfortunately does not mean too much. 15 seconds on the Vi here. 5 seconds on the Ashe, but I don't think she's doing too much. That's just going to be game 1, going over to Capuchungus.
Yeah, well done to them. And checking the tab there, 0 objectives over to the side of Bop It. Near perfect execution there. You know, maybe one misstep on that Baron push, getting caught out by the Thresh Hook, going 2 for 2. Saw that just 5 minutes ago, but by now, I mean, no objectives. That was a great Capuchungus game. I think they got exactly what they wanted out of that Talia Pantheon, moving around the map, making plays happen, and kicking themselves off to a very nice 1-0 lead.
That was a decisive game 1 here to start off the finals. I was not expecting this kind of start out of Capuchungus because Boppet's normally the one that comes out of the gate swinging with very strong early games.
I'm highly impressed. And one thing I will note, Chris's music before I left was having an absolutely great start to the season. I'm sure he carried it on through the rest of the season. But you seeing here once again, 23k, doing all of his team's damage basically. There just wasn't enough coming out of anybody else. And we kind of discussed how it was a relatively low damage comp. But when you get behind, it's even worse. So at the end of the day, like, you're going to need to see more out of the members of Baba Twisted, I think, here in Game 2. It can't just be the Christmas music show. It needs to be a full team effort here. But I really, truly believe that this Game 1 just, Capuchungus, they outplayed them. Like, 100%. They outplayed them. Their map movement was good, was very clean. They took care of business early game on those Drakes. Had extremely good team fighting. Of course, we've talked many times here about Campbell's hostile takeovers. Those were insanely good. And then once they were able to get that about 2k gold lead, they never looked back. And like Nexis said, clean sweep on the objectives.
Yep, looking at the gold graph here, I got up on stream. Boppet never had the gold lead all game. So very, very impressive game 1 coming out of them.
Well, let's see what they do here for game 2 though. They might have a good game plan here. I'm curious if they are going to go towards that red side. You guys have seen more of both these teams throughout the rest of the split here. What do these teams normally do after a loss? Do they tend to switch sides, or do they favor blue? Like, do they favor red? What's kind of the preference here?
From what I've noticed, a lot of the rec league teams prefer the counter pick instead of pre-making comps that I think blue side kind of requires you to be. So I'm expecting Boppet to go out in this red side and save counter pick for either Christmas or Scrub Lord and draft a very very like game impacting counter pick.
Yeah, I like that. I think that'd be a good plan too. Uh, I know Herwick caught some of the early weeks of action in the rec league here, but Boppet pretty much runs through their mid jungle. I'm sure you saw glimpses of what Duffy has been able to get up to. Built up quite a nice CS lead. Heavily out jungled last week. What was our first team all star jungler on the side of Cyanic Acid. Just able to get around the map and keep good tempo with his camps, and usually teaming up to gank for Christmas music. And a lot of the wins get driven through that mid jungle. So I think that's where you start draft wise, is take this red side, put Christmas music on something with a lot more agency, a lot more game impacting counter pick, like you said, and maybe see where it goes from there. Because mid lane, as fed as Talia got, that Ahri was still a bright spot for the Boppet side. If they can get something even more impactful, then that will look very nice for them.
Absolutely. Just curious, guys. Did I just instantly teleport from the end of game screen right back into the the lobby?
So
Yes,
welcome.
they have a play again feature.
There is play again features for customs and tournament games now. We've all been asking for them to improve the client. This is what they gave us, which, by the way, not hating.
Does that mean that by chance Battlefy is actually tracking stats again?
No, 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 no. Don't get.
Oh, okay.
Don't.
Don't get too excited.
Don't.
Okay.
Don't.
Got it.
Don't.
Got it.
I think part of the Battlefly could be the fact that they haven't been putting in screenshots. So I think that'll be something we stress for the upcoming Sweat League to see if that fixes some things. But
Well, I mean, I don't know, and we're going to get into drafting in a second. I just want to note that we have discussed and moving away from Battlefy probably next year, so it might not even matter at this point. But with that said, we can.
so I think they heard what I was wanting to see out of Boppet, and Capachungus banned out some power picks from the solo laners here, getting rid of the Mbessa, Cassante, and Mel.
Yeah, I know Christmas music has favored Mel quite a bit in the past, being comfortable first picking that. And then just two top lane bans as well. I think wanting to keep Golden Sunset in a comfortable match top lane is a pretty good call. Scrublord Ozai, seen stuff like the Gnar come out. That's something that may come to mind for this game too. As kind of a stronger pick than handshaking a take matchup, because maybe that's another avenue of attack. Attack this more off-role player in Golden Sunset and see if you can punish that swap that they've pulled off. And then Wukong and Zeri, though, coming in first two picks on both sides.
Zeri's something we haven't seen in a bit here, but I think the one time it was played was by Susan and Throttle in the bot lane.
I'm really interested that Baba Twisted doesn't ban the Wukong here. I think, and I touched on this the last draft, that Wukong has kind of found his way back up into like major priority. At this point, I mean, literally you just game one him now. The fact that he isn't just banned here seems insane to me, especially when you're already down a game. I feel like that's a bit of a miscue there, and could bold not to be great for Baba Twisted here in game two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they were just opting to go for these 80 carry bans. Looks like in this game, kind of knowing they probably wanted to go towards the Zeri. That is a one-trick Susan champion. As much as games for Boppet are won through mid-jungle, they usually put one-trick Susan on some sort of late-game spacing carry to help facilitate, when games go past 30 minutes and having reliable DPS there. So maybe just trying to get a more favorable matchup for the Zeri is what I'm coming up with. And then Gwen locked in as well. This was banned in game one, so maybe the Renekton, something that Capachungus and Golden Sunset kind of had prepped as an answer. And Hui rounding out round one draft for blue side. Capachungus getting themselves started with another very strong top
Ooh.
side.
There's something we haven't seen for quite a while. Is a Yone coming out.
How do you feel about that?
I think if played correctly, like you put a lot of pressure on the Hui, um, and you have kill pressure. If Hui though does get a kill or two, he can tend to just stalemate the lane with wave clear. So it's kind of up to the Yone, but I will say Yone in the side lane versus Renekton or Hui can find a lot of success there. So I do like the pick overall. Laning phase, Hui's okay with it for the most part, but gets outscaled pretty quickly.
Yeah. Quick note. Do you have draft up on stream?
Did I screw
Not
it
sure
up?
if it's
It's not
I
had
did
draft.
not. Blah.
all
Who needs
good.
draft? You guys
We'll
don't need
get it
draft.
up now.
Don't worry
Yeah,
about it.
it's up there now. I keep screwing it up.
Dude, you're human. Don't worry about it.
We're
Nah.
enunciating it all. It's just for all the visual learners. See something.
Um,
One of them, which is
nice
sad.
ban here, by the way. I love that Poppy ban. I'm a big fan here because
Yeah.
you're playing Gwen and you're playing Yone. Like that champion could be really obnoxious for both of them. So I think that's smart ban there.
The question for me
Agreed.
is this Gwen jungle or top? Well,
Well,
that answers that.
Twist again, get looking for the support counter pick here. I am so intrigued by these teams' drafting styles. Like this is something don't think I've ever seen in Sweat, like ever, where you just see teams opting again, Capachungas, right? Opting for their bot lane as their last two picks. It's intriguing. Baba Twisted as well, taking the Ornn here on R4. Uh, it's very interesting draft.
Yeah, I think with Capachungus at least, switching things up with Golden in the top lane, and I think Joker maybe demanding a little more resources in the bottom lane after our talk with Campbell last week. That could maybe explain that switch up. And if you're drafting these, just bruiser style in your face characters, that's okay to draft in the first round, and then set your bot lane up with comfortable matchups down there to round out the team, whatever that looks like, and help facilitate that top focus gameplay, which it looks like we're going to have in game two. On the side of Boppet, though, I got to just think the Ornn is maybe a mispick here, or like a mistake to pick that early, because you do have, kind of the sides of counterpick already with the support. I don't think Tarek is this super pick that is going to turn the game around, especially in lane against Sivir Lulu. Sivir Lulu are going to run over that Tarek, and then maybe giving your top lane / top lane flex in Scrublord Ozai just a little bit more of a say in the team fights than something like an Ornn. But regardless, still rounding out the comp pretty nicely. As much as Christmas music has played, these control mage picks, I'm very excited for this mid jungle. Gwen and Yone have the chance to do crazy damage. They just need to get ahead.
Yeah. I think for me, the only change that I really would do for Baba Twisted Gankit, and I do agree on the Tark pick not being like the most optimal here in the 5. I would have just rather seen maybe Sedge Yone combo and then go something top that I can actually duel the Renekton. There are definitely picks in the game, like Jace, for example. I don't know all the counters. Jax isn't horrible. It's not great, but it's fine. Like, it's playable. So there are some options there. I would have loved to seen that over picking something that's just gonna kind of they kind of even early, more or less.
The Medadas do not forgive
Uh,
or forget.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I love this Tarek here. You have three additional melees that I think you can play off the stun very well, and they have really predominantly go buttons. I do think Capachungus has a lot of stuff for them to have to go through to get to this Sivir. So that is what I'm concerned of, is like the Sivir Lulu. being unmovable here unless Yone gets ahead. But I don't mind the Taric here. I think it's something a little different.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I will say there are some synergies here that work well, and having the fact that you said there are three mid champions with a Tarek, that's great. Um, I just still feel like I would have leaned something different. Like if you still want to go this Tarek, just go him on 4, take something else on 5 for top lane. And I
Yeah,
just love the Sedge Yone combo. I think it's one of the best combos in the game, besides like something like Ari or Rek'Sai Cassiopeia.
I do agree there. Saving the R5 for a Taric when you know you're probably gonna go, some type of tank for Boppet. I do agree with because like I look at Boppet's draft and I don't think it's impactful enough or puts enough pressure on the bot line. I would like to see like Taric 4 and then maybe like Malphite or something on 5 where you have that big predominant go button that starts the combos of like Yone plus Azeri Chain Lightning. Something
And
in
I'm
that
really curious
regards.
how this Gwen's going to work out. We don't really see her in the jungle anymore, and I think there's good reason. I just don't think she's a great jungler these days. She's fine top
Seems you
lane, but
left your
she's
brave
been nerfed to
pants
the
at
ground
home.
so many times.
You
Where
want
it's
me to
like
wait while you go get them?
she still works, but I don't know. It's not what it used to be, So taking her in the jungle just it feels like a misuse of a jungle pick here. I don't know. I'm gonna be really impressed if Papa Twisted Gank pulls out this game. To be honest with you guys, I'm just that's how I view it. Too many power picks on blue side here.
I think that's a fair assessment. I think you're really just throwing your eggs into your mid jungle basket. That's how I see the Gwen jungle pick. I honestly don't mind it as much as the Sejuani would have maybe been a better pairing. Having watched this team play all split long, if you're gonna win a game, it's usually gonna be through Duffy and Christmas music. So I I like the pick. I think it gives him something that can fight back a lot more than the last game, and so that's the key to me. And we'll see, if they're really able to confidently pull off this pick here, because Gauntlet has been thrown down here, and I think that's going to be fun to watch. We'll just have to wait and see how it plays out.
I agree. The last thing I want to see, by the way, is a 3-0. I think 3-0s are never fun to watch. So hopefully, we get a trade here and we go to 1-1 and keep the series close as we continue. But at the same point, I am locking in my pick for this one specifically to be Capuchunga's favorite. I think that they have the best chance of winning this game here.
Yeah, I definitely like Capuchunga's draft better. It's just so clear front to back. Your late game scaling is absolutely phenomenal with Sivir Hwei. I think you'll be able to kite out that Yone Gwen dive just between the spell shield, the polymorph, and all the other meatballs in between. And then after that, I think your top side is looking pretty good as well. I think you'll be able to kind of hold your own in scraps similar to what we saw in game one and provide yourself some early leads.
I'm gonna say if Zeri can somehow get to that point where you were talking about earlier, Nexus, that after 30-minute mark, maybe then with Ornn items, like that could be your like win con. But I mean, we look at what happened in game one. That was not a 30-minute game, so putting your eggs in the basket, saying, "Hey, let's go sub 30 minutes," is hard, right? And I know you guys were discussing the 60-minute game last week. We obviously saw a lot of long games throughout the Rec League split. But what I do remember in the season before I left, that Capuchungas and Papa Twisted were one of the best two teams at closing out games and winning. So I feel like here you're betting on the late game here is a little harder when these are probably legitimately the two best teams when it comes to that ability to win a game. So
I think Boppet needs to make this game chaotic and needs to just cause hell. Maybe get a Drake or two early. I do think the Zeri Ornn has good potential to carry the late game, but my issue is like they cannot get on the back foot at all because they have virtually negative wave clear into something like Hui Sivir. So even if they get ahead, I'm agreeing with you guys. I think Capuchungus takes this game because I don't see how Bop It Twisted ever ends this game into that much, just that much wave clear overall. Like they need to get ahead, get Soul, get Baron, and then still be 3 to 4k up at that point to like really put pressure on. Because then you can at least with Baron minions attack the side lanes here. But I don't know. That's a tough order for a Bop It team to pull off after you kind of just got the doors blown off there in game 1.
Yeah,
So.
I'm curious about the mental actually after that game 1. Like, I think for me, if I played that game 1 and I was on things, I would be pretty flustered already. I'm not gonna lie. Like that's a hard way to lose a game 1. Like, you hope that if you lose game 1, you come out, you give a really good fight, it's a back and forth game or something. Like that's more of a game 5 to me, where you're just gassed and one team just has it and the other team just doesn't, so you just kind of get shut out. That's not something I expect out of game 1, and so the mental is going to be the most important thing here for Bop to gank it. And I think if they're able to keep strong mental and focus on the win cons, maybe just try to get the Zeri ahead, do what Nexis said, get some Drakes early. I think if they're able to accomplish that, CLT, I think then a good chance at winning this game. But again, it all comes down to team execution at the end of the day.
Yeah. There's just so much ease of execution for Capuchungus, though.
Yeah, I agree. I do like the Renekton as well, Alex. I think one of the best blue side early picks for top lane. It used to be really good into Ornn. At this point, I think it's pretty even, but like the flank setups here could be pretty nasty for the Renekton in this game.
12, 13, 14, 15.
You're
good?
ahead of me, buddy. I'm at
yeah.
10, 11,
I'm pausing
12,
at 20.
13. Okay. 17, 18, 19, 20.
Well, good.
All right.
Are you good over there, Nexus?
Yeah, I was kind of matching up there, so we are set. All good for game 2. Touching on the Renekton too, not just the pick, the player is something I'm going to be interested in, because Golden Sunset making the swap in the top lane, I had him very highly rated as an AD carry. My MVP actually vote, and I think just incredible micro. Tough to say if he'll have the same impact in the top lane. I think, the Renekton is going to be more of an interesting showcase of that than the Sion Shen matchup. So, a bit curious to see how this top lane matchup goes, specifically because of Golden Sunset being the nameplate there, and seeing, if he can build a lead, kind of similar to what he did last game, but this time on a pick with a little more sort of traditional agency, rather than just this tank v tank.
And a rough start for Christmas Music. He took a trade with the Wukong there, and then ends up getting poked out a little bit even before lane phase starts. So I wonder how much that's going to impact this early lane here.
We should see bot lane with this Sivir Lulu just be able to get push pretty comfortably. The only thing that would maybe turn that is if Thordle able to just walk up and get a stun, but if Joker and Campbell are spacing properly, this should be a pretty free lane for them. Just doing the Sivir thing we all know and love. Sitting back, farming up, letting the game come to you. And, Zeri and Tarek are fine with doing that. I'm sure these lanes are okay handshaking each other. But it will likely be a little bit of an advantage to the Sivir Lulu side just because of that double range and the ability to push in those waves.
I'm really curious if they might look for an invade here on the top side. I mean, you've got both mid lane and top lane pushed in here. I mean, bot lane as well, but there's no camps here on the bot side anymore for Duffy. So I'm curious here what they decide to do.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how Bud decides to play it. I think traditionally Duffy has been really the most aggressive jungler in terms of looking for invades and pushing leads into the enemy jungle. Nice sidestep by Campbell there. So I'd be surprised if really decides to go for that. I think they're comfortable playing their more standard game and waiting for Campbell to maybe be unlocked and the bot lane to be unlocked to roam up and open the map. Until then, just get some clean objective setups and play around those. But we'll see what plays out here. Maybe on the camp respawn timers we'll see more action.
I really, really love the way that Duffy is clearing. He's clearing extremely well. Everything is proper here, and that's why he has this tempo lead here on the Wukong. Poe deciding to go the blue buff after his initial 3 camps is an interesting decision. Usually, you want to hit your wolves than your Gromp. So, Squin's gonna be on the map a little faster and have item advantage.
Yeah, and he's actually going for the scuttle.
Yeah, he has information. Does he have smite? He does. Let's see if these two junglers meet. The Gwen should have the advantage here, though, again, because she does have the items. But Wukong might be able to burst it before she gets here. Yeah, able to do so. So
get it out. Nice. It's kind of just 3 losing lanes right now for Duffy. That's what I'm seeing. I'd expect Christmas music to start to turn it around, off of base and getting a few items, being able to fight back into Pilk. But Renekton is shoving in. The Sivir Lulu, I already touched on that. That's going to be shoving in all game. And that's where maybe you want to see Fa kind of do something with that. Not that he has to, they like the scaling on the side of Capachungus, but at least have the option to try to push that lead elsewhere because you have so much prio in your lanes.
He's resetting here. Let's see what he decides to do. I do think there's a dive potential top side as well as bot side if executed properly. So I mean, Scrub is sitting on a quarter HP, but he is walking towards bot side. Probably wants to play towards this Drake.
Nice trade out of Christmas music. Duffy's in the area too. I think one thing to note as well is, as rare as Gwengle is, when we see it, I feel like it's almost always with a ghost. And Duffy going for the flash really hurts any gap closing ability early. I think, does Gwen's ulti still have the slow? I thought that was on the schedule to get nerfed.
Still has the slow. I don't know if they've, I don't remember if they nerfed it to the extent that it's not as prevalent, but it does exist.
Yeah, I like the ghosts because it really helps you stay in their face and play around those autos that you need to weave into damage. But I get having the flash just a little more standard. First dragon though, winning lanes. Fa just able to walk on in and secure that pretty easily.
Yeah, and so far he's keeping up in CS. The fact that he was able to get both of the scuttles was huge. Now we do see pings onto the Gromp here. I think the Wukong is maybe thinking that Gwen is on there, but he's not. But he's pathing over there, so he's going to actually pass by the Renekton and still wait at least a camp, maybe 2.
That counter jungle prowess that Duffy is just very good at. Great ward as well is going to help track the Wukong when he comes back around this way. Don't think it's going to result in anything just because these lanes aren't really fighting. Other than maybe Christmas music, we can catch out Pilk somewhere, but regardless, nice little camp takeaway. But Bud doesn't lose too much off of that. He had the Drake, he's going to take the scuttle here. So maybe going to fall a camp or 2 behind as this game goes on, but maintaining very nice pace right now. Just all you need to do is this Wukong, especially after securing your team. That dragon.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting decision what he did early on, but it seemed like they caught on to what the Gwen was going to be, and that's why he was able to acquire the double scuttle. And now he's putting himself in a great spot. He's got the first 3 scuttles, even though he lost the camp. Like you said, he's got the Drake as well. So he's sitting in a pretty good spot, and the Gwen's not going to really have much of a meaningful lead, which is really good.
Done connecting. That's it, though.
is looking at an angle here. There is no wild growth for Campbell just quite yet. So
it's going to have to be a flash stun, but then with the Sivir ult, I feel like they're just going to be able to walk out of it, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly what they're going to do here. Now Thordo's going to be careful. He's forced to flash. The heal is going to come out. A couple autos are going to do it. That should be... No, he's able just to walk away. Shades of game 1 with that. edging there once again.
Big edgers, Campbell and Joker. But it's still like that's how well this bottom lane is going. They're just going to be able to continue to shove, and by now they're going to start looking at plates, starting to wear that down. Duffy looping around, maybe going to be able to find something here.
Yeah, no, the Lulu's in a really, really good spot. Wild Growth is going to come out, going to land that ulti to get the initial slow. But I don't think he's got enough range, so all they're going to get is the Wild Growth, and that's a trade for the Gwen ult, as Needlework is also now on cooldown.
And Grubs going over to Pha yet again. This team is getting every single objective. Thought that need to draw a line in the sand somewhere. With no Gwen ult, it's going to be tough to do so for the next, 2 minutes or so. Maybe some action here in the rafters.
Yeah, Wukong does have the Cyclone. They do spot each other with their red trinkets. Is there going to be an engage here? Chris's music is going to come around the side. Oh, the Wukong is able to acquire it. Let's drop the Cyclone. Going to use the W2 get out, and it's honestly just a trade for the objective. Or not the objective, but the camp. His ulti there. Teams, they're really playing like a slow-paced game. I didn't know I was watching like old LCK.
Kind of feels like it, yeah. I mean, most of the Rec League games, very action-packed. From when you load onto the Rift to, sometimes 40 minutes later. A lot more methodical in game 1, and especially in this game 2 so far, as once again, cresting 10 minutes, no kills, but if you're the side of Capachungus, you are fine with that because you have this 2k gold lead, you have the 3 Grubs and Drake, so you're sitting comfortably, you're ready to scale. The onus is still on Boppet to try to make something happen.
I mean, it's right now we're looking at 7 plates basically to 0. I mean, this plate is going to fall here in a second, I'm sure. And a 20 CS lead in all 3 lanes here. I mean, that's massive.
And it's been pretty much solo too. Like, this hasn't been Christmas music in the bottom lane.
Yeah. He's gonna get hit by the ulti, and oh my goodness, Campbell with a beautiful play here. They're gonna be trade it back. They're gonna be 1-for-1. It's not even gonna be a 1-for-1. They're in a literal 2v4 Nexus.
Duffy
might be able to take one back. He's just gonna be able to get a kill, but he might trade his life for this, as he's gonna go very, very low. Foe is on the way. He has the flash. He's gonna jump in there. Lone Sunset has arrived. Chris's music does not look to be long for this world, and that's another kill going over to the Sivir and the Feats of Warfare.
I mean, just well played to that bottom lane of Capachungus. They kite out that initial engage from Yone. I mean, it's so easy to do so with the Sivir. Great use of the spell shield means no knockup comes through, and then Sivir ult buys enough space where it's really just the Yone hitting you. Campbell with a great wild growth on himself, holding the flash too, has the confidence in those damage numbers to keep himself alive through that. Buying time, and then once Fuzz able to pull up, TP coming through from Golden Sunset, it's enough. Ozai ulting in the top lane.
Being dropped. Pilt's going very low. I don't think Scrub can get the kill though, but he does get the flash. Obviously he had to commit the entire kit for it, but I think he will take that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's a little Orin Bush tech. Layers all the passive brittles very nicely. Helps get enough damage to force Pilk to flash out. But you look at this bot lane now, Joker is 2-0. Already has the Yuntal. Sivir is building up quite a nice lead for themselves, and like it's going to be pretty tough to kill as well. As I say that though, overstepping.
They're trying to find a play, but Joker just kind of casually walks away. Doesn't have any sums, but he's still able to just mosey on out. The heal was burned by Campbell, but I mean, once again, I mean, the plays are falling on deaf ears. I'm glad to see them be proactive here in this game too, but you kind of wonder if it's already too late here, even though it's only a roughly 3k gold lead.
Yeah, the timer may have started in draft actually. We've harped on it quite a bit already. It's just going to be so tough to kill this Sivir without, a fed Yone or a fed Gwen. Maybe the Ornalt comes through over top and you can close the gap, some sort of miracle layering of CC there, and there are great team fight ultis on the side of Boppet. They have this Tarek ult. But really, all ultis have the potential to turn fights, so if things line up well.
He looks to be getting caught out here by Foe. Gonna drop two forms of the Cyclone, and Pilk just picks up the kill. Getting punished for the invade there.
Yeah, I mean, this Gwen is just not really strong enough to be doing that. I could see Duffy maybe traditionally piloting this pick, being used to being more ahead at this part of the game. But as of now, no flash, not really gonna, has no business being that deep.
There's an engagement by Chris's music now. Pilk's have to be careful, but a nice fear, and that's just a solo kill coming out of Pilk. And that was something we did not discuss too much in the draft, but the fear from away can be so obnoxious for the side of Boppet Twisted, and there, as you see, is an example of it.
The counter pick Yone too, but just well played by Pilk. Able to dodge out on stuff, and great use of the fear. Had the ulti on beforehand, and now we have all the action rolling in. And it's looking very similar to game one so far, where all these lanes are kind of just slowly losing, and despite some decent showings out of the mid jungle, in terms of maybe some signs of life and some agency, it's not too much, and you're going to be surprised if it's enough, as objective bounties already in. 14 minutes in, that's kind of how I know a game is looking really rough. When right as tower plays fall off, those objective bounties come online. So, Boppet, I mean, what do you think they have to do here to maybe keep themselves in it?
I mean, I'm going to be honest, I think at this point you just look to overload aside. Maybe when they go do another objective, they don't have the full team there, and you can dive somebody bot, right? I mean, otherwise, I don't really see the answer. I mean, with CLT, what do you think they should do here?
Yeah, this is a tough one, because you're diving into just so much now, and you don't have enough to get through, the Wukong Cyclone or even like Lulu utility here. And also, we didn't touch on this, but Boppet doesn't really have anybody that uses Serpent's Fang for this Lulu. So, man, this is going to be a tough one. I think they just got to full send it at somebody with a shutdown, whether that be Joker or Pilk here. Because, I mean, they do have decent scaling. They just got to catch them out.
Yeah, I think you got to do that soon, too.
Yes.
Like maybe around this next Drake, this third Drake, because otherwise this gold lead is about as close as it's going to get, because these towers are going to fall soon, and then you're going to be looking down 2 items on the Sivir. So trying to pull the trigger soon. Stun on the Campbell.
No, was used, so that is pretty big here with Drake spawning. If they can take advantage of that, they still do have all the major ultis here. I mean, Cosmic Radiance could be big here. TP in from Christmas Music. I agree. I think you just kind of send it here. This is probably your best moment, an opportunity. No W on this Wukong. I definitely want to see them get aggressive, though. Like, you cannot forfeit this right.
Yeah. Again, Rift Herald for Fuck, gonna be popped in the bot lane. Force Boppet to make a decision. Joker's gonna be very late to this, though. Had to back after taking some tower shots. So maybe Boppet will be able to get this. I have to see.
It's going to be a flip. Chris is being pushed out. Pilk does have his TP. The music has to completely reset, so that means that there's an advantage on the map. Here comes the Dominus. Golden Sunset's just going to pop it. Oh, and the Wukong finding a way in. He's going to be able to only actually land one knockup. Kind of wasted that Cyclone. A nice Cosmic Radiance. And Lulu should pop here. Campbell does drop the Wild Growth just in time. As, oh my goodness, Pilk coming in with a huge amount of damage. And a snipe. So make that a triple
Nice
kill.
flash.
A beautiful flash out of Campbell. Making sure he cannot be killed. And
Clean
that's
ace.
going to be a complete dry ace here. No one left standing on the map.
5 for 0, 17.5 minutes in. I know his casters were not supposed to, but this one's done and dusted. It's 8k gold lead, not even 20 minutes in now. Capachungus putting themselves on soul point. From draft to early game, these mid-game fights, just been in control the whole time. Boppa just not able to get anything off the ground. They think they can maybe catch out the Lulu there, but once again, Wild Growth coming on through, buying enough time for Joker, Pho, and Golden Sunsets just shred through every member of Boppa. Susan got absolutely popped there by the Renekton before the Cosmic Radiance could come down. And then it was easy pickings because there's just not, looking at the wallets, looking at the gold champions, there's just nothing Boppa could have done by that point.
And now you're staring down a 2.5 item Hwei, a 2 item Sliver. I mean, at this point, I think, like you said, the game is probably over. Besides some sort of miracle fight or play, and I guess I'll bring it up again. We discussed the Otacon last game. Maybe Capachungus gets over eager on the Otacon, shredding some resistances, and they could find a fight at the Otacon there. But other than that, I can't really think of many other ways back into this game at this point.
Yeah, you're gonna have to send it at another objective, right? That's really your only choice, because this gold lead is only gonna get worse, and I don't really like, your potential to wave clear to stay in it. Christmas Music does have the Bork now, but it's one item on the Boppa carries, and then already 2 items on the Capachungus carries. It's just such a tough game to pilot in this current state. And so it'll just be a matter of how cleanly can Capachungus close this one out. I mean, if they're able to zero out Boppa objective-wise again, you're thinking again, like, this mental game that comes up in this best of 5 Fearless is how are you able to, like, bounce back and stay in it? Because if you're Boppa, you gotta hope you have 3 more games left. But it can be tough to envision that when you've had already won such hard loss and what's shaping up to be the second one.
I mean, at this point, what I'm thinking is send Yunara, Sejuani next game if you're about to twist it, and hope for the best. I mean, those are the 2 pile picks. Maybe a Trundle in there. Maybe that's a possibility instead of the Sebs or something. Try to get some priority there. I would just go blue side, personally. But yeah, this game, I mean, Otacon's gone. Literally as it spawned, they killed it. They are going to find Golden Sunset, but I don't think that Duffy wants to find Golden Sunset. He's just going to push them out and basically just walk at them, saying, you can't do nothing to me. Forcing out the flash from this Taric. They're trying their best to kite back. Dropping the exhaust. There goes the Smite Slow. Nice little stun. So maybe Thorvald can find his way out of here. No, there's just too many dashes. And he will no longer be bringing Cosmic to the world.
Duffy got out.
That is a net positive.
You take what you can get. Bob inside. Batteries are dead on the machine here. Fuzz just looking. Look at how this guy's positioning. Incredibly aggressive on the Wukong. Pilk's going to be able to knock down this bot tower. Yeah, you have thoughts on the Game 3 draft maybe for Boppet? I think that's where we're starting to shift gears here. CLT, you have any thoughts on maybe what Boppet should pivot to?
Man.
A groan of despair. Oh my goodness.
Well, wait, they're looking on the Pilk here.
This is a good send here.
There's not a lot of damage, unfortunately, on this side, but they should pick up this kill. Hopefully it does go over to the Yorn at least, and not... Okay, yes. I was to say, I really do not want Thor to accidentally take that. So this shut down for Scrub. I don't know how much it's going to mean in this game, but... Alright, mental game achieved. We got a shutdown, guys.
You're just playing for fun. Portal was never going to take that. Great support play, just sticking way back. Dragon in 15, I think this is where you just call it. You throw it in all in the kitchen sink here. Maybe something lands, maybe you get a kill or 2.
Pilk does have TP, and it's going to be about a 10-second difference between his spawn on the drag. But that's actually big. They do get the Cyclone out here. One Trick Susan playing on the edge here. They get Campbell's flash, but a beautiful stun here as Tristan Music is just going to die. Never stood a chance. One Trick Susan running for his life, and as you can see, Sivir is just kind of cleaning up the other side of the fight. One Trick does live, but the rest of his team. Never mind. He walks back in. He's going to be taken down here by Pilk. The only man on the island as he's walking back to his base. Nobody left, and that's going to be Soul acquired here at 23 minutes and probably about 30 seconds or so. Once again.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a clean ace this time. Got that going for you. It's tough, man. These games, you just try to laugh about it. I think I mentioned this in my stream last week. You just try to laugh about it when you're getting stomped like this. Keep mental as good as you can. Start talking about stuff outside of league. Start talking exclusively Game 3 drafts. Anything to get your mind off kind of current state. You can't have it, but it's pretty much over. Soul going over to Capachungus now. But yeah, back to the Game 3 drafts with a little more time to come up with something there. CLT able to craft anything up?
I mean, if Capachungus keeps wanting to play these like standard like front to back team fight comps, I could see Scrub Lord going to something like maybe the Nexis that he's played before, like a York, something to try and split up this Capachungus team and fight them on a couple of different fronts. But I can't even really say that comfortably because I feel like Capachungus has just been, winning from the word go here. I think for me, it starts with the gameplay, like getting Christmas music ahead and involved. We've seen him be, one of the top mids. He was first in the All-Star.
On the Pilk. Pilk is going to flash. They're going to be able to get this kill at least. And Duffy picks it up, but Bones Sons are going to flash. He's going to pick himself up another kill onto this Ornn. But I think this Connected is in a pretty bad spot. I don't think he should be able to get away with this as he is trying to pick up Christmas music, but he's fixing it pretty well. So much healing coming from Cold Sunset, but eventually he will fall. That is a shutdown for One Trick on the Zeri. Now, Baron is being hit, and I do not think they're going to be able to contest, but two members will be without it, and Zeri's got some gold.
Yeah, that she does.
Side lane action. I mean, able to punish the Hui first off. That's probably the easiest target to punish. Even with the flash, doesn't have any real escape mechanisms other than the fear. So if you can send multiple members down, looks good. And then Golden, maybe a bit of a mistake there, TPing in while his entire team was topside, because the entire Boppa team was bot side, and as strong as Renekton saw him live for quite a while. In that 1 versus 4, total drop in the exhaust is eventually going to fall down. But now with Baron, I'd imagine Capachungus are going to start to make more of a clean push together, sticking together in a 4-1 or just a 5-0, and really start to knock down some of these towers.
One thing I kind of wanted to note is that the Zeri is nearing 3 items, so that's pretty big. And if they do not end this game on that push, we will be probably reaching the 30 minutes, right? So this Baron is going to win the game. And that would bring up Elder. So there is a small glimmer of hope, regardless of how giant this gold lead is. But the real question is, are they going to have any base left once this Baron is done being used? And as I say that, they're going to try to look for a commitment, but all the Ornn Horn is going to land on is the clone. And now here comes the Cyclone. They're finding some of the bad spot. Cosmic Radiance doesn't even get off in time. Christmas music is gone. One Trick is gone. The whole team is gone. As that is 2 double kills. 1 for foe and 1 for this Sivir. Make that a triple for foe. And that is going to be the game.
Another dominant win out of Capachungus. 2 games in a row now. 0 objectives for Boppet. I mean, they got 4 kills, just barely. Very few missteps out of Capachungus. This one, game 1, it was just that one little Baron pick. Game 2, maybe some missteps on the side lane, but other than that, they have completely shut out Boppet, playing these very solid topside focused drafts and able to convert in skirmishes and just transition that into what have been very clean wins.
Yeah, and I mean, it wasn't even just like how clean that they were objectively wise. I mean, if you look at the damage spread, they basically did peanuts to the entire team. Like the most was Duffy with 10k, and that's it. He barely broke 10k. As you see on the other side, I mean, 2 members breaking 20, and of course the Renekton only doing about 15, but that's still pretty good in this game, as it was kind of a slow-paced early game. I don't know. That's if you're looking at this game and you're Baba Twisted, man, it's gonna be so hard to not lose the mental edge. But I will say them sending it at the end and just losing on their own terms is a good sign. Let's see what they can do here in Game 3, though. I mean, this is a pivotal game. Of course, they lose this and their season's over, and we have our first rec league champs in 2 years. So this is going to be historic regardless. And I'm looking forward to what Capachunga's has got coming out here in Game 3.
Away for just a little bit. I'll be back. Feel free to start draft without me, because I imagine Bop is going to want to get back into the action. But I'll be back shortly. Leave the duo to their thing for a little bit.
Sounds good. Be safe on your travels. Well, CLT, how you feeling about this Game 3, man?
And I gotta see something out of Bop It here. I feel like they just need something to get the momentum going their way. They've been a fantastic team all split. They started off great, but had a few hiccups in the mid to late end of the regular season here. So I want to see some fight. I want to see something out of them that's going to get me excited, get me believing that this comeback's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. But you're talking about a reverse sweep, and never easy in any sport, by the way. And of course, it's not easy in league. You don't see them often, so it's going to be an interesting Game 3.
That it will. And it looks like we are in draft here. As Bop It will remain on the red side here.
I mean, I just want to see them really use this counter pick at this point effectively, right? I think we've discussed it. Nobody's really been, at least, but I think Capuchungus pick 5 was okay as a counter in Game 1, but I definitely did not love the Tarek here. So I want to see something else on the R5 here, and get some advantages. And with the way Capuchungus is drafting, I do think Bubba Twist has an opportunity to get counters in multiple roles here, because they've been showing their willingness to draft top early. So you might be able to go an R3 top laner once again for Baba Twisted and make that a true counter while saving another counter pick for support here on R5, or maybe possibly mid lane. But yeah, I want to see definitely a different drafting style out of Baba Twisted here.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you. I think getting the momentum going your way starts in draft. I think having some type of advantage that you created before we even load into the game is very, very helpful to start mounting a comeback here. So
I mean, they basically drafted 3 losing lanes. I actually could argue 4. I mean, the Wukong versus the Gwen, I think is Wukong favorite. So I don't know what was going on there in game 2, but maybe it was the mental pressure after the game 1 loss. But hey, you're here in the championship. This is win or go home. You got to keep everything centered on what's happening, like what's in the now. So just stay focused on this draft and focused on the game, and not worry about what happened in the first 2. And that's how comebacks start, one game at a time.
yeah, and we see this is the start of what you were talking about. Them drafting a solo lane early. This is a B1 Syndra, which I think is very, very exploitable, and I already like kind of.
Guilty.
Huh?
Someone ring my doorbell.
No, you're good. So this B1 Syndra I think is very exploitable. You can attack this pick quite well in lane and even with the jungle pick. I do love Rek'Sai. Starting to see a lot more of her, and this champion can be really good at farming or really good at ganking, depending on how good your tunnels are, you can kind of be everywhere. So, Jinx being kind of a staple for Boppet, as their bot lane does tend to play a lot of scaling picks here. Capuchungus though answering with the J4 here, so looking to get proactive and match gank for gank here on the Jarvan if this does get locked in. So now I would look for Capuchungus to draft something really strong topside here. Maybe something else that Golden has no issues blinding here.
Sorry about that. I've returned.
You're good.
That was the neighbor. He said the cast is great, and I'm just like, I'm kidding. He's not watching it.
I'm glad he's.
I wouldn't be so lucky.
Ooh, and Kaisa. Kaisa's a pretty short range pick. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
I mean, Kaisa's fine for what Capuchungus has so far drafted, I think. You know, you got the go button with the J4. The Syndra actually, with her range, sets it up pretty well to be able to play a little bit off. Like, she doesn't have to necessarily be really close to get off a decent amount of her abilities. But Baba Twisted coming out with a much better draft, I think, as far as these picks here. I love the Jinx, and I love the Gnar. Though the Gnar as a early pick without knowing what the top lane is a little scary, but it just looks like a cleaner comp. The Rek'Sai, I have my feelings. It's okay into J4 though. I will say that. Like it does do well into J4.
I need to see more of the Rek'Sai. I think in coordinated play she's a little bit harder to pull off than say solo queue. But from what I'm seeing out of playing with and against Rek'Sai, I've seen quite a few actually the last couple of days. I'm okay with it. I don't think it's anything like game-breakingly strong, but I don't think she's like super weak either. So I don't. I think it's okay. I think though R3ing this Gnar and not banning away top laners is quite interesting. We're attacking the support pool a lot more here, and the Alistar's coming out, which I think is pretty good protection with the Jarvan here. Or the Kaisa as well when they dive in. So far, I'm agreeing with you. I like Boppet's gap, or Boppet's draft. Hello.
Gap? You think they're gapping already?
We'll see what the rest of the picks are.
The Alistar finally getting let through here, so Boppet Twisted will be getting that. I do think that Alistar into Kaisa Rakan is fine. And it's not bad defense for the Jinx, but it's not great. But we'll see how it kind of plays out. This is going to be a very interesting game because I don't think that Boppet Twisted is necessarily getting any major advantages so far in the draft, but I do think that they are drafting better overall. All right, now Yasuo. Now this almost feels okay. Capuchunga's draft went from like pretty good to like you do counter the Gnar, yes, but this feels like an ego draft when you draft the Yasuo here because I just don't think overall it's a great pick for this game. But with all that being said, it does counter Gnar. It's an old counter, so I'm curious if top lane is going to be very big advantage for side of Capuchungus. So that's my only curiosity. But you just basically win wall the his boomerang and he doesn't have it for like 20 seconds because he can't collect it back, right?
Yes.
So, pretty much unplayable for now, really.
Yeah, I'm with you. The Yasuo is an ego pick, and I think when you're up 2-0 and you built a proper comp around the ego pick, in this case of being the Yasuo, I'm okay with it. Like I think the Yasuo has really good spots here, really good setup, so it doesn't need to have the greatest execution on that side. But Boppet though has drafted like quite a bit of CC. If you don't pay attention to this Gnar bar, Gnar can Mega Gnar is really good at creating space and being okay with people running into him. It's just playing around that. That is the kind of skill expression against that. I do like this Annie quite a bit though.
So I was just gonna say what I want to see this game. First off, I definitely want to see Barbara Twisted be able to lane well here. This is very important, right? You cannot be coming to any of these objectives behind like they were the last 2 games. And if they're able to come to these objectives within 500 to 1,000k behind, or even, or maybe even a little ahead, I truly believe that their focus should just be kill this Rakan. 100%. Just blow the Rakan up before he can click a single ability. And the Capachunga's comp is almost null and void, right? So that's what I want to see here out of Bapatusa Genkit. And if they can pull that off, they're on a way
The
to winning
Medardas do not
this game.
forgive
And that's just
or forget.
how I see it.
Yeah,
And I know it sounds
I'm with you.
I know it sounds funny to some people, probably thinking, why are you want to focus on support? But like sometimes you focus the thing that enables the
I'd rather
comp
be
to
home
work.
anyway.
And I think yeah, J4 is good. He can dash in, whatever. But his combo is pretty easy to dodge, and if he's forced to just blow Cataclysm for no reason, it could be bad for the J4. You know, the Rakan makes it so the J4 can do that more freely. And if the Rakan's gone, and now there's no free setup for the Yasuo, like the game is totally different being played at that point. So that's what I'd like to see, but that's gonna be hard considering Narn's in Yasuo, right? Maybe the Rek'Sai can make the matchup more playable, or maybe they do an early swap. I don't know if Rec League does that, but I would be cool with that because I think the swap favors both of them. Like I think the Gnar is fine in the against Kai'Sa Rakan. I don't think he's killable. Now he's killable to a dive, sure, but I mean most GFs are. And I'm talking about if you send J4 down.
Yeah. So in the semifinals, Capachungus was the only team that did a lane swap. So I'm
I don't think they want a lane swap. So I think Kai'Sa doesn't love the lane. So if you really want to like funnel the Kai'Sa, like it's fine to lane swap. I could see that being maybe playable for them in that place. But then I also think that just it helps the Gnar so much, which I think it's better for the Kai'Sa to just lose a little early for the Gnar to be so far behind. Well, are you excited? We're going to have our first possible Rec League winner in 2 years, CLT, in this game. Does that excite you? As you're the last man to hold a Rec League trophy?
Myself, Pins and Souls. But yeah, I was part of that squad, and I'm super excited. Like I think I don't know how close you've been keeping track on it. The Rec League has been just insanely competitive. So good that I'm happy. I'm happy that it turned out what it did, and how it went about. I thought every team was great, and I thought these teams played like some pretty impressive League of Legends overall.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I mean, I haven't been keeping track like I was, obviously, in the early parts of the season, but I think that this was a absolute success, regardless of what happens here in Game 3. I think it's been awesome to see that these, lower elo teams were able to have, I think, more fun overall, being that, like you said, it was more competitive, and part of that was because they're more even across the board, and that's what we want to see, and it kind of gives me an excitement for the idea of bringing Rec League back into the fold again and continuing that moving forward. But yeah, I mean, Game 3 is going to be very great, and to whoever wins this game, if we are calling it a night, then congrats to Kappa. If we're not, then bring on more League of Legends. I'm always excited for that.
worked out. Little trade of wards early. Yeah, so my eyes are gonna be on this Yasuo in this game 1, in this game 3. Like, can he actually snowball? Bot lane a lot more volatile on both sides of the matchup as well. If this Rakan ever mispositions, it gets comboed. Like you said, blowing up the Rakan could be very nice for the side of Boppet.
Yeah,
And
I
just
think
good fightability.
what I'd love to see, and I touched on this with CLT, was maybe a swap here, an early swap between top and bot for the side of Bop and Twisted, because the Gnar will probably gain more XP and farm in the 2v1, I think, and the Yasuo gets put further behind in that lane. So, but I don't know if they're going to be able to execute that well. I know it's a very hard shot to pull off if you don't practice it.
Yeah, we haven't really seen it out of any Rec League teams, except for Capachungus did it twice last week, and honestly, the first time they did it, it wasn't favorable. It was botch dive, and they ended up giving over objective. But second time they did it, very clean. Both, in theory and in practice, they were able to swap, get an extra like few hundred gold lead off of just playing waves and playing minions. So I'd be surprised if Boppet are comfortable enough pulling that off. But definitely kind of a good track in terms of how draft shaped up, ways you can maybe circumnavigate that. See, anything out of the norm in terms of runes? Not really. I think Glacial on Rakan, I want to touch on that a little bit. I don't love it. I think Glacial is kind of just not in that good of a spot. Doesn't really do too much. Campbell getting really good knockups here. Narrowly getting avoiding getting headbutted into tower. But Guardian is just always going to be a consistent option with, being able to reliably deliver that shield, that 200 health shield. Glacial Augment, yes, it kind of has that slow at the end, but that's really it. Doesn't offer too much beyond that. I feel like if you want to go Inspiration Tree, go for the Spellbook, because it offers up a lot more. Gives you the chance to make plays in other ways. I don't think that, half a second slow is going to do too much in this game.
I'm really hoping this, this Rek'Sai is able to find an angle here, because in this lane with the setup that they have from the Alistar, it'd be a great gank. Might get spotted on the ward while doing Scuttle. Meanwhile, though,
Being
Foe is
mid,
walking
too.
for a gank mid. EQ is not going to land. I know it did. I'm sorry, I didn't see the flash. It cut away on me in the last second for some reason. Nice flash EQ. What the heck, man?
Yeah, that's not an easy Jarvan combo to pull off, and doing that on the stage, well done. Forcing a trade of flashes, which is nice, because that Annie will be very regankable, especially with the Jarvan and when that mid jungle ticks over to 6. Have you touched already on the Annie pick into the Syndra?
Yeah, I think Annie definitely wins early, and I think with the Rek'Sai setup, the Syndra has to play very, very respectful. But Syndra's okay with sitting back. That's what I think makes her so powerful. She still has some lane bully qualities to her, if she's even or ahead at certain states. But she's also okay with just kind of being under turret and farming and just slowly grinding into a game.
Yeah,
So,
makes sense.
yeah.
Zoro knows this interaction, but he can cancel the Rakan W if he times it correctly with either his own W or Q. Something I've been kind of looking for a bit there, and I haven't seen it happen. So I'm not sure if he even is aware of it.
It's one of those things. It's a lot tougher than you may think it is, because the knockup will still go through if you're CC'd by the time you get to the end of the dash. Just hold that thought gank in the mid lane.
Yep. And able to burn the flash, which is really, really good here. Now both laners are very susceptible to gank. Is Duffy going to check this Drake? I kind of hope he does, because he would be able to contest, but he has ability
Golden.
to do so. Oh, nice. Tibbers there in the mid lane. Pilk should fall to one more auto, maybe? No. Just short of the
Timbers got us
kill.
sold there. Like Timbers canceled the auto. So a little more action in this early game. Fights in the top lane, fights in the mid lane, some ganks all around. But I do want to touch back on that Recon point, just because I do play a lot of Recon, and played against a lot of Recon. The W is not that easily cancelable, because it will go through unless you prevent. You have basically like a quarter-second window when Recon is making the dash forward to cancel it. If the dash goes through and that animation starts when he's on the way up, that knockup will still go through even when CC'd. So, even me, not that I'm that good with hands, but on my 60 ping in California, that is incredibly unreliable and something I cannot do consistently at all.
The
Flash combo from Thortle.
He ends up not able to land, but they can look onto Campbell here, and I think Campbell should be dead. He does have flash, but he should still die here. No, nice knockup. One more auto coming out of one trick will secure it, and that's first blood for this Jinx, and that's exactly what I wanted to see, is getting this Jinx ahead. And yeah, I won't stay stuck on that point that you made. I do agree with what you said. It is not easy to do, but it is very possible. I played a lot of Alistar to Recon and vice versa, just like yourself, and you could definitely cancel it. But I haven't even seen an attempt, so that's why I figured he didn't even know about it.
Yeah, that's fair. At least trying it, because even if you don't time it right, if you can get the knockup, you're still proccing aftershock for yourself, taking less damage in that trade, and delaying the Recon trade a little bit more.
He's going to be spotted out. Does dodge a W, but he's going to get hit here by the EQ. Thortle is on the way, so at least the Rek'Sai is able to walk away safely.
Tunnels out. This early game's going a lot better for Boppet. Christmas Music has a lead early, which is exactly what CLT was talking about. What we want to see out of this Annie, and maybe why you picked the Annie.
There, meaning, by the way.
Having fun. The Yasuo lane has been, neutralized so far, but doesn't necessarily get any easier. And then bot lane with that gank, kind of bailing them out of what has been a losing lane so far. And now with no flashes on both members of the Capachungus bot lane, maybe Thortle can find an angle for something again.
Yeah, I think my only concern here is, will they be able to contest the grubs? As you do see the Yasuo walking over, J4's on the way, and they're going to hit. So, once again, though they got the kill with the Jinx, they're losing all the objectives here early on in the game. So, hopefully they're able to get another good gank off somewhere, get some more gold in Jinx or Annie's pockets to make Drake number 2 more fightable.
Yeah, I mean, do you think Duffy is just playing, too vegan? Jungle style? It's almost like maybe you should be, especially in this game 3 where you have stronger setups, playing for these lanes more and trying to get ahead that way. I feel like, yes, the farm lead's kind of there and the camp leads are nice, but really needs to do more to get his team ahead, I feel like, especially on a pick like Rek'Sai that has the potential to gank like that. Really want to see that out of the Boppet jungler more.
Yeah, I definitely would love to see some more aggression. I think in game 2, he couldn't be as aggressive. His pick didn't allow for it. But in this game and the game prior, yeah, he could have done a lot more. And it's just not enough coming out. Meanwhile, though, we did see the Alistar burn the Unbreakable Will, which was interesting because that all-in wasn't... I don't think you can really get a kill there, but... nonetheless, they do get a bit of an advantage. But never mind, as I say that, here comes the setup here. Now one trick surgeon's gonna have to try to kite back. The exhaust is gonna come out. Is there a Q? Let's drop the rocket. It's not enough damage though. Duffy is on the way. They're gonna just try to turn on to Campbell, which I do think they can kill him. Is he gonna die eventually? I'm like, when's this kill gonna happen? Is it gonna happen? He's definitely going here. He can definitely kill. They're going with the ulti. That's 2 kills for this Rek'Sai. And maybe he's not as vegan as you think. Just vegetarian.
Yeah. Maybe he just hurt us.
I'm omnivore.
I'm in agreement. He needed to be very, very aggressive with this pick.
Yeah, and Christmas Music roamed down as well. Great time around to the mid laner. don't think dropped much in the mid lane in terms of waves there. So there for extra insurance. But what started off as, a good 2v2 kill for Capuchungus. Better collapse out of Boppet to turn that back in their favor. Getting 2 kills onto this Rek'Sai. Flash mid lane.
Nice flash engage, but for some reason Duffy is not on the same page, doesn't go in, is messing around with the Rakan. Very interesting, but nonetheless, Drake is up. Syndra should have to reset. I really want to see Duffy hitting the Drake and not this Raptors here.
Able to get them, and I think great play from Christmas Music around that Drake timer. Kind of enables them to just walk it on in. Pilk too low to really contest it, doesn't have TP, so unless Fa kind of looks for a miracle steal here, should be the first objective of the series over to Boppet.
It's going to be, and it's secured by the Alistar. Okay, at least they got it. I'm really thankful that J4 did not jump over.
Yeah, I think no need to jump over. No, even if you do get it, the chances of that happening are low, and I think Thordle was kind of playing zoning on the Alistar. Expect to see that in future objectives, because Boppet have finally set themselves up to be in a point where they can contest those.
Yeah, it's really huge, and another thing, they actually have a gold lead. It's not huge, but it's a gold lead, right? Only about 200 gold right now, but they are still looking to be aggressive. A flash in. I do think they could just turn on to Campbell. Nice cancel there, but they don't commit. Meanwhile, they're jumping down to Christmas Music with the Cataclysm. He does not have flash, and here's the Spheres of Power. That's going to be a kill for this Syndra. It just seems like
nice
they're not
gank.
all on the same page when it comes to Duffy and these lanes.
Yeah, I think that the call was to try to combo onto Joker, even though Campbell was in range there. Duffy sitting back. I think you just gotta send it. It's better to be on the same page with like a wrong call than it is to be on separate pages and then just have nothing happen or just have things collapse around you. And what could have been maybe another chance for a kill for the Rek'Sai turns into just a flash blown for Thordle. And a great gank from Fa in the mid lane as well, recognizing Christmas Music doesn't have flash. It's so easy to gank an E-Mobile and that as the Jarvan. Just walk up, EQ, ulti on top of him with the Cataclysm. And even though the Unleashed Wrath didn't hit from Pilk, plenty of damage between the mid jungle of Capuchungus to secure an easy return kill.
Absolutely, but yeah, I'm a little worried here. I mean, we've seen 2 ganks here kind of go wrong for the side of Boppet Twist plays, and just as your laners are flashing in looking for those plays, you're not committing. It does kind of make me a little worried as the game progresses here. Is Duffy just playing kind of a solo queue mentality for himself to get himself the lead, and that's why he's farming so much?
Yeah, and I mean beyond just comp, like this is like competitive League of Legends, this is a team comp that Boppet needs to be on the same page for. You're playing a very standard kind of 5v5 comp. Rek'Sai is going to be a big portion of the front line for that, so needs to be on the same page with Thordle and Christmas Music, the other 2 primary engagers, to help set the team up for success. Otherwise, things will just continue to fall apart, as we've seen in the past 2 games.
Yeah, you win together, you lose together. That's kind of should be the mentality for every team. And so, meanwhile, though, turning on the scrub here is Golden Sunset. Gonna drop the last.
There it is.
That's gonna be a kill. Finally coming through. The Nara's done pretty well here to keep up in CS and XP, but eventually the Yasuo is just gonna find the advantage, and all of a sudden now there's a gold advantage. It's 1.5k for Boppet's just a game kit.
They're looking on Duffy.
Duffy's found himself in a really bad spot. I feel like maybe dropping the ulti early is not a bad idea. He does do that, but the Spheres of Power is going to come out. Do they have enough damage? They do! Finally finding the kill, and Christmas Music is going to be another casualty of that same situation, as unfortunately Jinx Rocket just flew right past.
Well played by a lot of members of Capuchungus there. Solo kill on the top side. was just going to talk about how these top laners have both been farming very well. Look at those numbers. Minute marks, yes, from Golden, and Scrublord Ozai holding well too. But now that Yasuo, has the Kraken, there's a lot more kill pressure in onto that solo lane counterpart. And then with those 3 grubs as well that Capuchungus was able to secure, it is going to be a very tough side lane game to play for Boppet when you're looking down that Yasuo. And then in that little skirmish there around the bot side river, so you just Campbell first to the play, I think really making the difference there. Duffy getting caught out, trying to clear some vision. Thaw and Pilk able to burst him, and then with the Rakan engage coming in over top, that's going to be enough to knock down Christmas Music as well. Didn't burn the flash, so still some crucial summoners up to maybe turn things around. I'm looking towards that next dragon fight as maybe an option for Boppet to play. But with this Rift Herald secured for Pha, they may just use this mid lane we've seen in the past few games and continue to just get easy objectives and transition that into Drake positioning. We'll see what happens in this Drake fight.
Looks like that's the case. I really want to see the control of the banana bush here. I feel like that's the most crucial. But Nar's not here. They're just going to try to look to burst this. I think it is possible. They've already got it down to 6K. Or is it just going to be a flip? Flash in there. Campbell's going to actually miss the W on his main target, but is going to hit a couple with the quickness. Thordle is in there in front of a really nice knockup. A lot of damage. Shut down here on the foe. The fight is turning back. Campbell forced to run. I don't think he has any more ease, but it looks like he is going to be able to walk out, and that's going to be Drake secured for the side of Boppet Twisted.
Yeah, that was just that was disgusting from Campbell. I maybe a misclick somewhere. I got to imagine, because that was a flash W onto a Alistar without even ulting. So I think the fingers were just not keeping up there. Maybe a misclick somewhere. I think the carries are over onto the side. And then on the flip side, Christmas Music with a pretty good ulti. Yes, I think it only hit 1 or 2, but it kind of divided up that fight and let the Jinx play this front-to-back style, able to pick off one with the help of the Super Mega Death Rocket. Scrublord Ozai picking up credit, but that just forced Capuchungus to back off. And now second Drake. 2 objectives online for the side of Boppet.
Yeah, we are seeing an improvement. I just hope it's not too late, here in Game 3. But it is a positive thing. They are still down roughly 3K, but the fact that they won that fight, down this gold, is really good for them. Continue the team fight like that. Of course, hope for some more mistakes out of Campbell maybe would help a bit. But that's why I kind of mentioned this Rakan is kind of pivotal to the team comp. If he lands all his major spells, it's so hard for them to play, especially with this lead they have. Yeah, we'll see how it plays out.
We talk about this being like a Jinx comp, because every Jinx game is kind of just warps it into a Jinx comp, but there's no protection for the Jinx, especially when you look at the diving members of Capuchungus. This Rakan and Jarvan should be able to get on Jinx pretty easily. Syndra, if she ever gets in range for that Unleashed Wrath, that ultimate, it's just going to be Jinx popped. And so Onus is going to be on mostly Thordle and Christmas Music to me to hold the trigger first and try to get the fight started off on their terms. That way they can get this Jinx to a reset and turn that into a fight win. They definitely have better scaling this game, and they're holding a lot more even 20 minutes in now. 3K is plenty fine when you look at their comp, so excited to see how the rest of this one will play out. Looks like Capuchungus is pushing Vision into the topside river. Nothing yet, though. Yeah, I think Capuchungus are going to continue to set up around Golden Sunset, just trying to get some wards in that side lane that he's playing towards, because this Yasuo, now level 14, going to be close to the IE on base, is going to be your main kind of power point, and it's always going to be a winning side lane. So wanting to set him up, let him play safely, and try to, maybe pull off a solo kill and really push in onto the towers. That's, I think, the game plan for Capuchungus. It'd be a matter if Boppet can kind of hold on.
It's really interesting lane assignments right now for the side lanes, because Annie is actually happy to play in Yasuo. It's not really like something she has too much of an issue with, and I think Nara has enough survivability. So it's interesting to see the lane assignments they chose here for side of Capuchungus.
Agreed. And it is kind of working. The Syndra able to knock down that tower there, so getting a few objectives right now. The game is a lot, you know, it is going to slow down a little bit. I think be surprised if any big action breaks out until the next Drake really starts to become a factor in little under a minute and a half here. So, you know, reset's probably coming in shortly. The Joker on 2 items now on the Kaisa. That's a good spike. I think Yasuo on the reset. See, not quite able to get the IE yet. Maybe waiting in base for that. That'd be a huge power spike for this kind of Drake Pit area fight.
We're just going to have to be careful here. A face checking is not a very good idea for this Alistar. It does use his Q. That means he's going to be turned on to here. Forced to flash away, deciding not to use the Unbreakable Will. I do think that is probably the right decision here, but they are going to TP in. Now they're going to start hitting this objective. They definitely should fight it here. I mean, they're not even looking to play on it here.
I think it's just bursted.
Yeah, they took it down so quick. Now they're going to try to look on a Duffy here. Wow. That
Christmas
was very
Music Flash
surprising.
is up in 5 seconds. Yeah, they love the decisiveness out of Capuchungus there, just going instantly on the Otacon after forcing Alistar out. I don't know if they should be recalling here with Dragon spawning soon, but I think that's a fight you kind of want to take. Yes, Cinder is going to TP in, but now Boppet have set up over that 3rd Ocean Drake. We'll see if they're able to use that.
I think they fight this here. I mean, well, they're kind of split. Maybe okay to play there on the Gnar side. But that means there's no Gnar ult, and his stuff is down. Fighting on 2 sides there. I would have loved to see them fight on the Gnar side.
Yeah, I think just not enough members, and Yasuo ult down as well. We'll see what Boppet can do here around this Drake.
This is going to come in, going to get multiple members. Here comes the Kaisa. Immediately going down is the Jinx. And now it's an all-out brawl. Unfortunately, Christmas Music is not going to win that 1v1 versus Golden Sunset. The Alistar is going to fall for a double kill as Joker picks it up, and that's going to be the Drake. Evened up 2-2 here.
I mean, that's the power of that dive I was kind of touching on earlier. Like, this Jinx, I mean, what can she do there? She gets hit by a knockup, and then in comes the rest of Capuchungus. They've been on the same page all day long. That team fight, no exception. Joker falling up instantly after Campbell's engaged. Doesn't mess up this one. Gets the 2-man knockup, and then, you know, once that Jinx falls, you don't really have enough consistent damage to play the fight. And so, Capuchungus getting the Drake and a few kills about 23 minutes into the game.
Yeah. And that's just really an understanding. One team understands what their comp wants to do, while the other comp, I don't think they do understand at least what they want to do to counter that, right? We talked about this earlier with just being able to turn onto Campbell, blowing him up. The idea is you just drop the anti-stun on him, full combo with the Alistar, and that should be enough burst to one-shot this support. And once he's out of the fight, I mean, we saw what happened when he messed everything up, right? It's the same thing. If he's dead, he can't pull off what they need. He can't pull the trigger. So maybe they can identify that in time. And if so, I still think they have a shot. But the gold lead is growing. Right? It's 6K now. But there's still going to be a window. This game is going to go a lot longer than the last 2 games, or it should.
Yeah, you have, you know, better wave clear. You've been able to fight back. We've already seen that before. And if this Jinx can stay alive, you know, that'll be key. It's going to be so tough, because all that was without Yasuo ult as well. But I need to see Jinx maybe just be really scared with that flash, too, on the initial engage. Or just try to tell your team to be the first ones to pull the trigger. You know, Rakan's going to be overstepping looking for those engages. It's just a matter of if you can successfully catch him out before he finds the engage, so...
Absolutely.
Kind of piggybacking off your point there, but we'll see some vision kind of push deep into the red side jungle of Boppet as Baron spawns and starts to become a factor.
And yeah, Candy, completely different fight. I think, you know, we just touched on it, but yeah, it really does come down to, as we've been talking about, it's this Rakan. It's all on Campbell. Yeah, I'm not really liking Christmas Music's positioning here, for example. I do think he might be able to get a catch here. Oh, just missing the Q. So maybe this is actually good. Never mind, Joker should fall here, possibly. Just need a little more damage. Finally getting shut down. And that means Golden Sunset's going to be finding himself in a bad spot, going to be knocked up. There's another shutdown, unfortunately going over to the Alistar. Campbell trying to run for his life. Foe also, but he's going to get followed here by Duffy. Going to take a lot of damage. Fear the Power is going to shut him down, but a beautiful knockup. And wait a second, the Jinx is still coming up on resets. Nara's going to pick up 2. Pilk is running for his life. He will be just fine, but as I said, I didn't like the positioning. They found the play.
They did. Joker overstepping there, looking in the mid lane, trying to maybe just pull off some heroics, get a few autos in, but Thordo with that Hex Flash over the wall kind of kicks things off. Fortunately misses, but lets Christmas Music just waltz on up, get an easy 2-man stun, and it's easy pickings for the Jinx there. Now their eyes are turning towards the Baron. Herwick, you're not getting a break.
Not at all, but it's just Pilk and beautiful cancel there on the jump from Scrub, but it's going to be harder for him to just walk in. Of course, Thordle is on the case. Let's use his Pulverize, doesn't get anything. I mean, this is going to be a flip
5K.
at this point. Yeah, I mean, it's not getting low enough. And Alistar is dead. One trick is forced to run, and
Oh, it didn't reset.
Overcommitted. That is going to be Baron taken unless Scrub can somehow steal it. Rocket is not going to be enough. Oh, so close. As, my goodness, maybe the Baron was a little overzealous. I'm honestly kind of surprised they couldn't kill it there.
Yeah,
Maybe they
hindsight 2020, but I guess your only damage there is the Jinx onto the Baron, and health bars were not healthy to begin with, falling quite low, so can't really stick around and contest it. Pilk playing that Baron dance well, forcing Alistar to fall down and forcing the rest of the members back, and then it's Joker just walking up and securing that one. Baron did not reset, was just at 3k. Now this game is right back in Capachungus' favor.
It is, but I will say at least they were able to find some positives off the last fight. I mean, some more of that, and you know, the game will still be playable. But with the entire team, I think pretty much having Baron be pretty hard. Thordle, you cannot walk there. Lucky for him, nothing does land, so he's not forced to use the Unbreakable Will. Drake is spawning in about a second here, but I don't think you really want to contest it if you decide to bop and twist it. I think you just play to let the Baron fall off and contest Soul.
Yeah, we see how these fights for Bop It can play out and how they're supposed to play out. So that's the angle they're looking for, you know, someone to overstep and Thordle and Christmas Music to pounce, get your Jinx a reset, and then just chase them down. So no need to overstep, force around Drake. It's not Soul. You're still in this game. You know, try to keep the gold as even as you can. Let Jinx farm up. Maybe get to 3 items in IE, because then she'll really start shredding. And then maybe you have another good fight around picking someone off. But until then, Capachungus gonna have to be careful to not overstep and give that opportunity over to Bop It. It's like they're just gonna play as a very consistent 5 here to prevent that from happening, not even risking it on the side lane.
Thordle walking this aggressively, I think positioning is very scary. They're gonna find a decent Narwhal. I just don't know if that's the play, as One Trick Susan's gonna get zoned. Nice last breath, gonna take down the Gnar. And they just don't have the burst here. They're gonna try to kill Foe, but Foe is so tinky, getting all the health back. There's a double kill for the Syndra. One Trick is going to fall, and that is gonna be GG, giving this game over to Capachungus, and that's gonna make them your 2025 Rec League champions.
Dominant showcase from Capachungus. They came to play on this Sunday, closing out our league with a bang. From winless in Sweat League to running through the gauntlet in Rec League, week after week, this team has done nothing but improve, playing together, switching some things with the roster around, but come finals day, absolute dominant fashion in this 3-0. I don't know if Bop It got a single tower that entire series.
I don't think they did either. My key takeaway there at the end was just don't even position forward. I really did not like the positioning out of Thordle there. You don't have to look for anything. You just keep playing the game slow at that point. You know, the Jinx was on 1,200 gold, so she was definitely getting close to being able to purchase that IE, as you discussed. But unfortunately, you know, they got a little antsy. I mean, I guess they once again fought on their terms, so they lost the game on them, right? It wasn't because the opposing team found a great engage.
Mhm.
But I think that game was winnable and definitely playable if they just played a little bit slower there at the end.
Yeah, far and away their best game there. But, how they were able to fight back and, you know, get a few objectives for themselves in their belt. It honestly looked like they were gonna potentially turn it around there. Just a little bit unlucky on that overstep of the Baron. And, it's very easy to say Capuchungus was 100% the better team on the day. From draft to gameplay, team fights, they had Bobbit's number everywhere.
Yeah, and I mean, big congrats to them. I mean, uh, anytime you can win any league, it's a great accomplishment. And again, they're the first team to win Rec League in 2 years. The last Rec League we had was 2023 summer. So big congrats to them. Or actually, it might have been 2023 spring, but nonetheless, it was 2023. So uh, huge win there. And CLT, how do you feel? You're no longer like you don't have the trophy no more. Like you have to pass the trophy off to them. How does that make you feel?
Uh, well deserved passing it on to them. I think they showed improvement throughout the whole split. From week one, getting 2-0'd from by Bop It to having banger series against Team Solid and Caster Curse, and then making it to the finals. I thought they performed fantastic. I thought they learned a lot from their time in Sweat League, and you never know, maybe they make another run at Sweat League. So, um, yeah, well deserved by them overall. They are okay with doing an interview, so um, we can jump down if you guys want, or
I think that'll work. I do have to run, but it was a pleasure casting, and I'll be tuning into this interview after the case. So we'll catch you guys later.
much love, Nexus. Thank you for
Thanks,
everything
man.
this split.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Well, my friend, do you want to jump down?
Yeah, I'll jump down, but I'll let you do your interview thing, and if I have anything to note, I shall.
Okay.
Oh my god, they're here.
Hello.
Yo,
How's it
Hey.
going?
Oh,
Congratulations, guys.
what's
Thank you.
up?
thank you.
Wow, what a decisive series. Did that go as you thought it would?
Yep.
Nope. Okay.
Oh,
It was easy, man.
Maybe not
Oh, wow.
that decisive.
Yo, no shade. My fault.
Oh, shit, you played well.
I think we expected to win, but we probably didn't expect it to be that decisive. I think we came to play. We all did exactly what we wanted to do, and it went really well for us.
Things went shockingly to plan.
I love that. So, I mean, I'll let you guys just kind of have the first word. Going throughout the whole split, what was there a couple of key things that you guys really zoned in on and wanted to improve and wanted to get out of the split after your time in the Sweat League last split?
Yeah, I think our main thing, as I said before, is that our play around objectives, especially in Sweat League and early on in this split, was pretty bad. Like, we were basically flipping a lot of objectives. We weren't getting set up. We weren't able to get solid control over it, and it was like we were relying on jungle to steal. So I think that was like a big focus
True.
for us throughout the split, and I think in this series we really demonstrated that we are, able to play around the spawns and get vision and get. I think we got almost every single objective that series, so it ended up pretty good.
Yeah, you got every objective the first two games. The third game was definitely a lot more competitive.
Yeah, they got 2 drags in that one,
Mhm.
but still good.
What kind of going to Pilk here. Did you come into
Oh,
this
yeah.
series like looking to attack Christmas music a lot more aggressively than some of the other mids were? Because I felt like you kind of rose up to the challenge. He's been an amazing mid all split. Made the All-Star game, and I think if I remember correctly, was like second in MVP voting. So he
Oh
had
shit, really?
yeah, I believe so. But he was definitely up there for sure. Don't get me wrong. But like, what was your approach coming into the series? Because it definitely felt like you guys attacked the mid jungle, which Boppet has been strong all year in that regard?
I think early on in this play, because at first I've never played like a league like this before. Obviously, I was very nervous, and I think my early performances suffered like a lot from it. If you look at my first games I played in the split, so I started to play a lot more aggressive and play with more confidence. Usually, that just looks like me playing way more aggressive, but my jungler also helped me out a lot for sure. Shout out, Mr. Fa.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, Fo, do you have anything to add to that? Kind of, grouping in the mid jungle there.
I think, to be honest, I play a pretty like standard game plan of not like trying to flip gank.
Well,
Even
okay.
like in early game, typically it's like, what do you call? Like I'll look to gank maybe like if it's really good. Like for instance, I can help Pilk like blow mid laner flash like early, so that it's not
Yeah.
like I'll flash any ult and then he gets like fisted by the jungler 2v2 or 2v1. But it's more so not making any unnecessary risks. That I would say, if you can maintain a consistency as a like consistency in gold income, it's a lot better than trying to force a play that isn't necessarily like gonna work out all the time, right?
That's fair. Campbell,
Yes.
you guys made a roster change in playoffs. How
Yes, we did.
hard was that to just like refocus the game plan on that roster change? And what do you think the roster change netted you that maybe the previous iteration didn't have?
I mean, as we saw in general a few days ago, there was some drama around the team. Derek here,
Yo,
he came
buddy,
at me.
I'm the worst guy on the team, so we just swapped it up. That's all it was, all right?
No.
I stepped out for someone better to play. That's all it was.
Did the right thing. You did the right thing, man.
Well, I'm fucking bad, man. I'm bad. So I gotta let the men step up and play the game, man. Like I was watching here, like doing a bit of preschool stuff. So that was it, man. Like they're better. That's it.
I will say I only watched the first 4 weeks, but I have to agree. When I watched those first 2 weeks, man, you just weren't doing enough. So.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
Damn.
I
whatever,
guess I'll
bro.
have to agree as well.
Yeah, whatever. You're not supposed to agree when I say something like that. You're supposed to be like, nah, man, you're enough, but whatever.
Nah, you definitely are enough. You are a fun player to watch.
No, like, jokes aside, though, like, I was telling the guys, like, this 5 is definitely the best lineup. Like, I also, like, don't really know what role I play in general, right? So it's, like, top, when I play solo queue, I go ADC. I'm not particularly good at anything, to be honest with you. So I told, like, I told Golden Sunset, like, go top, and you guys, like, definitely play longer, have more chemistry, like, just do that, right? So I'm happy they won. I'm very proud of their performance. I was watching here for the past 3 games, just chilling, so, yeah.
I think CLT, honestly, we should give Finals MVP to him, even though he didn't play.
True.
That's my
True.
personal opinion.
True,
the team.
true. He did.
True.
It's a sacrifice, man. It's a sacrifice. I already threw it in there. I threw it in their Discord. I don't know what chat to put it in. I said that they're going to win if we play, and there's going to be a clean sweep 3 games for them. So it was good, like, that we subbed me out, But
I actually have a question. I think it's for the jungler here. Game 2, I saw a bit of a change here because early on in the farm in Game 1, like you were a little bit behind. I mean, I think at one point it was like 20 CS
Yeah.
for Duffy, which was fine. I think you were playing Game 1 good, but you were able to keep up way better there in Game 2. And I saw a crazy adjustment you made, though I don't love you going straight to blue buff. Was there a reason? Was the reason for that specifically because you wanted to be able to contest both scuttles, though? Because if that's your
Yeah.
reasoning, then I love it. Okay, that was great.
That was exactly the game plan because both my mid and top and my bot all had prio, so it was like, super free to be honest.
Okay.
And
No,
I
I-
could
and I-
sacrifice my camps. Like
No,
not
I love
sacrifice,
that.
would
It was good.
easily
It actually it kept you up because you were able to get both of those, right? There wasn't much of a farm difference at that point. It was basically just even. And I know you guys had really nice vision there on the top side, so really well executed there. I was just curious though. So
Yeah, completely intentional. Despite what, if I sound like I'm lying, it was intentional. I promise.
I believe you. Just kidding.
Yo.
Well, gentlemen, I will say, congrats. I think that was absolutely well deserved throughout the whole split. And, you know, if you guys are planning on playing Sweat League, I'm excited to see what you guys can do.
Yep. See you guys in Sweat League.
Yeah, I think the census is going to be you guys won, so you guys can have a spot. There will be some stuff to discuss. The census it might be. I mean, we'll clarify. But
We're working on getting Fud his required solo queue game, so.
I might be regressing in skill personally, but
Gotta get them games in, bro.
We'll
I am.
discuss. We'll discuss
I
it
am.
now that you guys have won, and we'll have that full discussion here in the next 24 hours, and get back to you guys with a final decision, and then we'll go from there. So, but I think it does. I think it does look good for you guys.
Oh, wow, I feel like I'm on The Bachelor.
I choose you, buddy. I choose you.
Yes! Thank you.
Who do you guys think is the finals MVP from your guys' perspective, though? I'm just curious.
Tough
It hasn't
question.
been chosen. Nobody chose it. I'm just curious. Who you guys think.
Either my ADC or my jungler.
I would say the
would be
same.
my vote.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you guys can make that final call.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
ADC, lock it in.
Are there any votes in the chat? I mean, we usually would like to hear from you guys as well on who the MVP is. If anybody wants to give that out, we'd love to hear from you guys. If there's anybody else still even in the chat, I guess you were only down to 4 viewers at this point. So
I'm one of the viewers, so I don't know how many people are left.
GG is doomed. It's doomed.
who gets your vote, Mr. Herwick?
I don't know yet, to be honest. I think I'd have to sit down and think about it because the games are all so well. Game 1 and 2 were so well played. First off, right, as we discussed already, that I mean you could almost give it to anybody on the team at that point. So I think I gotta really look at Game 3 and I think make my decision based off that. So take Game 1 and 2 performances and then see if that Game 3 performance is what really shines for me. Will be where my vote would go. So. You might have to let me take a day to make that decision.
No worries. We'll let you ruminate on it.
Yes.
And I'd definitely be curious what Nexus has to say as well. So
Correct answer is Timos Gucci, but take your time.
I am for it. I am for it. I honestly I think you guys should.
I was a bit of an emotional support. Like I was watching the streams, so I was like, and at the end of the games, I would say, "You boys got this. Keep it up," and then mute back up for the rest. 3 hours of watching. So.
Well, I think since you played majority of the split, I do think I personally it's up to CLT and the rest of the mods, but I think all 6 of you should get skins regardless. That's my opinion. Like it's not like you didn't play games, so
They're all 6 getting skins. I'm
all right,
confirming
there it
that.
is. So you're all 6 getting skins. So I guess you could be the Finals MVP then. We could just meme it up real good. Screw it to him.
I don't know if we'll go that far with it, but I'm pulling the trigger. They're all 6 getting skins. So has to be a champion you played. Please.
Yeah.
All this stuff should be on the battle fight if they're looking for the full prize goals. But just feel free to reach out to CLT. You guys can reach out to me too. I'm back from the grave, so if you guys want to send me your skin choices, that's fine. Are you all friends with CLT on League?
I don't
I
think so.
I don't know about anyone else.
No.
I see you at DM all the time, so okay.
Okay.
Just send it to him. It's just easier, and then he could just do it from his account, and we'll do what we normally do, which is group up with the monies.
Reimburse me.
That'll work. Yeah, reimburse you after the fact.
So wait, the golden. Did you know about the skins? Did you just play Yasuo just so you get a skin?
No.
No, it was because it was a crazy pick.
No,
That's
Yasuo
not the
is-
case. That's not the case. So they locked in Gnar top, and they had Alistar as well. So I was like, oh, I really want to play Sylas here, even though like it's probably bad for the comp. But then my ADC, he's not here. My ADC, he was like, Yasuo is really good into Gnar. And we also have like Jarvan and Rakan as well. And the instant I heard that, I was an old Yasuo one trick, not anymore, but I used to play Yasuo a lot, so I was like, hell yeah, let's go Yasuo.
That's all I needed to hear.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, that was
said
it.
on stream. It's a counter to Gnar. It's an historical counter.
Yeah,
to Gnar.
yeah.
I liked it for that. I was a little worried about it because like there's a world where like the Yasuo just doesn't work and it's just like
Yeah.
ego picked at that point. But I loved it for the Gnar matchup specifically. And, I kept stating for game 3 like so much like if they just blow up the freaking Rakan, they can play the game. But it just never happened. Like every time you guys got to team fights when you guys were 5v5ing, they should have just dropped any full combo, Alistair combo, killed the Rakan real quick, and it's harder because now Yasuo has less tools. The Kai'Sa has less tools. It never happened. So
Yeah, exactly.
you guys had the good comp to play with the Yasuo there.
Yep.
Well, gentlemen, I think we're gonna call it there. Is there anything you'd like to say to the crowd? Anything you want to say about the league? Just give us your final words here.
I'd say thanks everyone for watching and making the Rec League a pleasure to play. All the captains I spoke to were a pleasure to schedule with, and all the teams I think gave it their all and gave us really good games. So yeah, I just say good job everyone making the Rec League a success, and I hope it returns next year.
It will be.
Yeah. And not only the players, but also you guys, like the mod team. I think putting together this event. This
Yeah,
like
especially
no
you guys.
glaze. I swear I'm not trying to glaze. I swear. But like putting this on for free and like chill. Putting this on for free and like also giving out like actual like rewards again. I think is like very
It's very
like
generous.
selfless. Yeah, it's generous and selfless. So shout out to you guys as well for doing
No
this out of
worries,
your
man.
own time, your own pocket.
Well, we appreciate it. I know CLT's been hustling this specific last like 4 or 5 months more than he should be. But we're happy to do that. I think when it comes to playing in the league, I feel like there should be some sort of incentive to want to be the champion. And it's something small that we can give you guys since it is a for free league right now. But maybe in the future it could turn into something more. But for now, we're happy to just have what it is and continue to do the good work for you guys. And again, hats off to CLT for being able to make the Rec League the success it was. Nexis helped a lot as well, and hopefully you guys get to play in Sweat, and you'll be seeing a lot more of me in Sweat. So we'll be having a good old time over there if you guys do.
Yeah, maybe we'll get one win this time. Who knows?
I hope so. I hope
Anything's
so.
possible.
I hate anybody going winless. I think it just sucks. So if you can get one, that's all that matters. But you guys
got one
look really
game.
good. Take
got
this
one
play,
game.
take the and bring that over to the Sweat, and I think you guys will be able to compete. I mean, of course, there's always individual play when it comes to lanes and stuff, right? Like if you're going against a master tier player, it's a lot harder, and I get that. But at the same point, the team play does still matter, right? If you're coordinated, anything's possible. So I'm rooting for you guys.
Thank you.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Well, much love again to the whole league, to everybody out there, to Nexus, to Wick, to everybody pulling this off. And here is now your 2025 Rec League champions and Capachungas Deluxe here. Woohoo! Applause. Everything else. Yeah. I'll work. I'll work on the soundboard later. But yeah, congrats again, guys. Very, very well deserved. So, but I think we're gonna call it there if we're all good. So,
Hey CLT, I gotta say something too.
what's up?
Did you not hear the soundboard?
I didn't. Wait, do you actually have a soundboard?
I was using it.
I ain't hearing shit, bro.
You have it muted?
What?
You
You know what?
Being used by people in this call. Besides me.
I might have it muted. I don't know. That's crazy if I did. All right, we'll work on that one.
Let's jump down. Where are we going? Midwest?
Yeah.
Take care,
Deuces.
guys.